Yeah.
Like the categories, like when you go live, don't some of them auto?
Yeah, I guess some of them do auto. It's up, by the way. Go peep it real quick. Well, let me.
Oh, you're echoing.
Yeah, hold on. Let me mute
I
myself.
just have to wait for your stream to pop up. Just hasn't popped up yet. I'm just like refreshing and nothing. It'll come up soon.
I'm gonna go ahead and post it in NA now.
Okay. All these shit Gabe's like totally different. I remember meeting Gabe for the first time at Toronto Crystal Cup. It's pretty funny the story because he I think he ran out of gas or he like didn't have gas for it in his car or something, and he couldn't get like back to his room or his hotel room. So me and the boys had to like call him an Uber because I think his phone also died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we had to call him an Uber to like get him back to his place and and he was judging the event. And like he was just like the nicest guy ever. Like he just started talking to us. He was super friendly, super like he's just like, "Hey, I really appreciate it." And then like the whole weekend, like after we met up with him and talked to him and played some games and we got him, his ride back to his place where he was staying. He was just like the nicest dude all weekend, super supportive. Always cracking jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of cool. Like you just don't we didn't expect to meet. I didn't expect to meet people like that. Like
So,
at my first Crystal Cup, and
such
then
a
like
such a
at
yeah.
Toronto Crystal Cup, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to meet a lot of
I
people.
think I originally met him in Boston, and then
Yeah,
we met again at Indie. What's it called? Indie game Gen Con.
Gen Con.
Yeah, Gen
Yeah.
Con. And then yeah, yeah, that's where the rest is history. We've been friends ever since. I
Mm.
loved running into him in like as an opponent. We've played a few times, and then I think we played for cards at nationals too, which was hilarious. And he like wiped the floor with me, and
Hmm.
then
Wait, he smoked you at Nat?
no, like on in a side event. I think we were playing for cards.
Oh, gotcha.
We were playing for cards or promos or something. Something was on the line. That's all I remember. But
That was
that
year one Nat,
yeah,
I
year
think.
one Nats.
I remember those side events. There was like a lot of random mini like 8-man Swiss tournaments, like single elim stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that stuff, yeah, because I bubbled with Turbo. I was like, oh, fuck me. That's what I get for playing like degenerate deck and
Yep.
people counter me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that first Nats too. Everybody was on turbo and I was still on water.
Yeah, man.
And
I remember that.
and
I know you were on mono
and
water.
that's when Mog 6 made his first real appearance in the meta because he was so. I drew 3 cards every turn and people were like, what the fuck?
I mean, Turbo is still like really good, even though people were countering it. It was kind of just like a luck of the draw. It's like hopefully you don't match up with those people who are playing like the hard counter.
Yeah, yeah.
And I matched up, I think my 3 losses was people that were playing the hard counter. Like it was crazy. I was like, I beat the people who didn't counter me, and the people who countered me just smoked me. And I was like, yep, I guess people took this deck seriously.
Yeah. Are you on the stream, by the way? How does it sound? Does it sound fine? Are we coming through?
I can listen to it.
Yeah, listen to it for a sec, and then we should be good to start. Yo, welcome, medic.
Yeah, you sound good. Yeah, it sounds
We sound
yeah,
good.
it sounds good.
All right, that's all I care
I
about.
mean, I don't know. Can I hear myself?
I mean, you should be able to. Yes. Are you guys medic?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear myself. Yeah,
You
yeah.
hearing JG and me all good before we get started here?
Yeah, I'm sure people will just tell you if it sounds like shit.
I know, but I don't want that again, right? Like I'm trying to. I was hoping.
Well, I guess that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah, but I think we're good now.
I don't think it does. From what I heard, your audio sounds good. I think if my audio echoes, it might just because you have speakers, right?
I mean, I have my mic, but you're coming off my computer, and I'm just screen capturing the you like the
Yeah.
Discord, so we should be
I
fine.
won't. Yeah, I think it's fine, dude. I wouldn't. I'm not too worried about it.
Yes, medic, we're doing spoilers tonight, so yeah, we're gonna go over everything that we've seen. We've seen a lot of cards already, like almost I want to say a third of the set has been revealed, 40, about 45 ish, plus
Hmm.
plus the starters and stuff. We have a long list here to go
I haven't
through.
read like most of these, so this will be interesting for me.
Thanks so much, Sire. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, you guys. So without further ado, JG, let's get started, right?
Good man, let's do it.
All right, we got Elf, Avalanche Operative. When I saw this one was pretty absurd. I think I don't think this Avalanche needed this, right? When Elf enters the field, you may discard one card. When you do so, search for Job Avalanche Operative and add it to your hand. You can tap
Mhm.
and put Elf to the break zone, choose a forward, and deal it 1,000 damage. I mean, and it's EX Burst. Like they already play Meath, and we have another Meath for the deck, a more exclusive Meath, right? Avalanche doesn't need this, but I think this will just keep seven relevant for the next format, right? Wouldn't you agree, JG?
I mean, FF7, it's an interesting deck because, like,
Right, sire.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, it's like I don't know, it kind of, it sits like in the middle there. It's like a deck you kind of have to respect, but I don't think it's anything like super powered. So I think it's the right thing to say that like this kind of helps it keep it relevant. Although this discard effect, like, can you explain to me like why this disc? Is it just because it's tutoring? Is that in the EX Burst tutor? Like, is that why you think that it can do that much to help the deck stay relevant?
So I guess the EX burst would be just a discard, right?
Yeah,
Does it do it all?
should be the whole thing here. Yeah,
Yeah, it should be the whole. Yeah, discard and search, right? I
yeah,
mean,
because if you do so, right,
yeah,
then you
I
get to
mean,
search.
The Barrett engine already doesn't care, right? Like you could just discard the other
Hmm.
ones to search the ones you need and pick up the one and just pick it back up on the next turn. Remember?
Hmm.
No, it did not need a red bomber backup, but
Um, I don't know. It seems okay.
and it
I
breaks
mean,
itself
I
too,
don't.
right? So you can play multiples, like
Yeah,
increase the EX burst count, and then just
yeah,
like finish off something else if you're one damage off. Yo, Starwind, thanks for
yeah,
the follow, friend.
yeah. I think this will help the. This will like it'll help the deck. I mean, and maybe the deck. I mean, FF7 sticking around
Yeah,
seems fine. I mean, the deck is pretty good.
yeah, EX means for bombers, exactly. Uh,
But I don't think the deck is anything like crazy because obviously a lot of people have just chosen to play like Soiree, right? And then if you're playing
that's true.
FF7,
Everyone who
is
is
there
playing
any?
Avalanche from Re-Raise Florida to Re-Raise
Yeah,
Omaha switched to Soiree, so that should tell you something. Uh, to give you anybody else who's just joining in right now and listening in, so JG is from Canada. Obviously, I'm here, South Florida, the Miami locals group, and we have very different metas. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I just look. I don't know. I look at like a Final Fantasy VII deck, and I just look at it like, okay. I mean, it's a beat down deck, and that like can it, like most decks nowadays with the new cards, they can get out of control. But I mean, this deck has like I look at like an Icewind deck and how it can just like wipe the field from a deck that plays kind of aggressive, and then
right.
how do they kind of recover from that? So it looks like it's a decent deck, but I don't think it's an amazing deck. But
So Starwind, we just so I'm kind of on and off with FFTCG content. Like it really just depends how how much I want to put into it. We normally do like other card games and stuff, like kind of like games and card games. But I would like to continue to do Final Fantasy content, like TCG content on Thursdays again. We did it for like a month and a half or so a little while ago, and so we're gonna continue
mhm.
with that again, hopefully now. So yes, stay tuned, and if you like indie games and fighters and Smash, you can stick around for that later on the other days. But JG, let's move on from this one.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah, it's an okay card.
Yeah, it's an okay card. uh,
It's fine.
all right, Xenos. When Xenos enters the field, you may play one character of cost 4 from your hand onto the field. So just like the Cecil, right? Yeah. When Xenos attacks, all the forwards other than Xenos you control gain 2,000 power until the end of the turn. So this one's gonna kind of go with that Hien, right? Like, we can just. I'm gonna scoot on a little bit ahead here just so we can talk about these, right? We talked about Hien on my channel when it came out, but if you control fire more fire characters or category 14 characters, Hien gains haste. When Hien attacks, activate all 14 characters forwards you control until the end of the turn. They can attack twice this turn, right? So they kind of go hand in hand here. You would be able to play Xenos. Xenos could play the Hien, right? Yeah. And then they can help.
It won't enlarge for me. What the?
What happened? Oh.
It doesn't enlarge for me, the image. When
I really?
Click on it.
That's weird.
Can you enlarge it? Because I don't see it on stream that you're... I know Xenos does, but not Hien.
Oh, yeah, Hien does. Hien's even bigger for me on stream.
Oh, okay. Oh, what the hell? Maybe my computer just sucked.
Maybe.
Oh, I just clicked in the wrong part of the image. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, so yeah. So good point, Sire. So it has to be for or play character of cost 4 from your hand, and then Cecil is 4 or less, right?
Mm-hmm. Did your audio cut out, dude?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Are you hearing me good? I don't have any music though.
No.
I kind of didn't put the music on.
No, don't worry about it.
I think we can.
This card's like, yeah, the fact that it has to be a 4 cost. I mean, so it's very specific, you know, as far as like where it's gonna go. But you're saying this is gonna go with what, samurais?
Well, not necessarily, right? So I think the Hien is a red herring, right? Like they want you to put it in samurais because he's a samurai, right? But I think there's the whole deck itself is gonna lend itself to more of a fire 14 deck.
Okay.
And so that's where both of these cards are gonna come into play, I think. And so there's a lot of there's gonna be different potential, right? Like I have this open here too, so we can kind of peep, right? So I did something like this before, also. Not one. There's that gamer mouse doing that thing again. So we have 14, right? Forwards. And then, like, we have old Zondes, we have the Lease, right? Nail, Rattan, Gaius, and the Alpha Nods, the twins. And then Philia, Ranjit, Ifrit, and all that stuff. And even the old Xenos, like, still does pretty good stuff. But I don't know. They said there was going to be more this set, like, coming from this, like, more 14 characters coming from this set. So we're going to have more to that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just looking at Xenos alone, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, the fact that it's locked to 4s, I mean, there's a lot of good 4 CP cards in the game now. 4 CP was always kind of like a weird spot for a while where, like, it was just, like, too expensive for a lot of those cards, but now, like, there's a lot of good 4 CPs coming out, so this seems like it's pretty good, and I think the fact that it has an ability to, like an attacking ability, so having an entry but also having something that, you know, when it attacks is also like really good,
right?
So not bad for a rare, right? Like having, you know, this has like 2 lines of text, and having an entry but an auto when it attacks is like pretty good, so pretty decent. And like, yeah, if a lot of 14 stuff is going to be coming in here, this set, then yeah, that's probably where it's going to go, like a very specific like tribal 14 deck, right? So
yeah, because the thing is, what's cool is that Xenos lends himself to other cards, right? Because it's 4 costs. But, like, Hien is exclusively, like, Fire and 14. So he's not even Samurai based, which is why I was saying, like, he's kind of like a red herring, right? It's kind of there to throw you off, I think, anyway. The Gosetsu is the other one, too, right? Like the Job Samurai Forwards and card name Samurai Forwards. Other than Gosetsu, you control, gain 1,000 power and Brave. When Gosetsu is put from the field in the break zone, choose a Job Samurai or card name Samurai other than card name Gosetsu in your break zone and add it to your hand. Like, I think he's going to have the same treatment as the Saiyan, right, in the Samurai list, where they'll play one of the other one, the EX Burst Backup Search or something, maybe, or like 2 of these and then just leave the other one for EX or something. I don't know how they'll balance it. I don't play Samurais too much myself. Like, that's not my...
Yeah, same here.
That's not my list, but, I've kind of seen what they do. I've lost to them enough, that's for sure. I know people really are thinking that Samurais and Fire in general are going to be in the top tables, I guess you could say. And so between Hien and this, it might be enough to bring it back. So how often do you run into Samurais, JG?
My experience with samurais is like zero. Like no one in my area played it. I
See what I
mean,
mean?
it's like the thing is a lot of people in like in Canada, or at least like between Ottawa and Toronto at least. Yeah, I mean, a lot of like it's either super aggro decks that just like try to beat you within the first couple turns by slapping down like a silly Neo X deck type of thing, or I'm just gonna like beat you down with a bunch of weenie forwards and go all in. Or it's like, playing the control decks, like water wind based decks or ice wind based decks. There's no like kind of in between, and so like samurais, I never really got exposed to too much of them. I mean, a little bit. We do one of my playtesting partners, like in our group, Richard did play like a fire deck, and I think he did play samurais, but it didn't seem to be a problem. But that was because I think just ice wind is just a very good deck in general against a lot of things, but the turn one Tenzin wasn't really a big deal. So I think maybe that strategy. Do you think that strategy changes now with some of these new cards, where like you're not just slamming down Tenzin
No,
anymore? Like,
I
do
don't
you
think.
play differently?
I definitely don't think turn one Tenzin goes away. And
No,
and
but
I agree, Sire and Medic. Yeah, that is deciding whether to play this one or the backup is going to be where they try to find the balance, right? Because they're both good.
mm,
Especially if you
yeah,
want to go for this Hien, right? Like if you really, really need this guy, if he's your engine, you play the backup, right? Obviously.
yeah. I mean, this guy, five or more characters. That should, fire or 14. It shouldn't be hard to pull that off.
Yeah.
Him having haste, and then again you can play him off of like Xenos, which is like some good pressure. And then when he attacks, activating all 14 forwards you control, I mean, I guess that's fine. Until the end of the turn. Oh, like they can attack twice. Or is it just like cyan, like double attack stuff? Is that what's
Uh,
this card's gonna enable? Like just board wipes?
so yeah, like so going into the Hien a little more, like everyone will
Mm-hmm.
have need to have attacked first already. Like
Mm-hmm.
these are all the hoops that Hien has to jump through, right? He has to
Mm-hmm.
like the other forwards have to all attack. They not hit EX bursts, then Hien will
Mm-hmm.
attack, activate everyone up again, and then they can attack
Mm-hmm.
again.
Yeah.
And so it all sounds very good, but like with the amount of EX bursts and like stuff going on in these decks lately, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a tall order to get through to get this off, right? Like
Yeah, the EX burst, like, yeah, decks, I think, just like, if your deck's not really, like, efficient, or it can't, like, or it can't gain a ton of, like, CP advantage, yeah, the EX burst, like, the decks that hold a lot of EX burst in them, yeah, like, they're just gonna punish you, if you just, like, can't, like, come back with that same thing. So if you're, like, you're just swinging in aggressively, because that's just what your deck strategy is, and you rely on that in order, like, especially when the abilities are like attack based, right? Like this is like it's all about attacking here. So like if you're not attacking with these cards, then you're just gonna lose anyway. So it's kind of unfortunate that yeah, like the power of like the X-Burst in a lot of the decks, it could be like a tough spot for a deck like this that relies on attacking to get its stuff done.
yeah, and
Um, so
the other thing is too right now, Arcanist is making a funny comeback in Ice Tex because Suarez
yeah,
all fours. So
yeah,
like
good card.
a very good card. And
Yeah.
so things like that are just gonna be like, nah, Hien's not gonna attack this turn. You're good. Like,
I remember Arcanist back in the day, man. I remember that card. I think that was Toronto. I remember at Toronto Crystal Cup. I think that card might have made it in some of like the mono ice decks way back. I mean, limited card pool, right? So there wasn't like a ton of options,
yeah,
but it was an interesting card. It could really just like slow down the game so crazy, and then your opponent literally like can't do anything, and then you can just set up again and then just go back in when you're ready. It was kind of cool to see the Ice Earth decks like really abuse that on top of like all the other things they had going on in their field. Like they could just slow down the game and say we're going to the late game,
I
and the
mean,
longer this game goes, we're just gonna win.
yeah,
There's nothing
and
you
that
do.
was the blender too, right? Like it had
Yeah.
the Flandits, and
Mm-hmm.
the what's the other one? I don't know, something else that taxes you for attacking or stuff like that. And it's just like, all right, nobody gets to attack this turn.
Well, they
Undead.
had a lot of they had a lot of stuff, right? It was like they had like triggers going on with like Biblos, and then they had Scale Toad, and um, yeah, it was like a ton of stuff just sitting off to the side, and then They had some orphan triggers going on too. That was sitting on the like, like he was like there was a lot of interaction going on with that deck. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, we got Goblin here. When Goblin enters the field, you may search for one job Goblin and add it to your hand. You can tap, put Goblin in the break zone, choose a 4, deal it 3,000. So honestly, you know what I thought? One of the cards like this is just like Upstart Goblin. Like you just get 3, and like your deck is 47 cards now, right? Like
Yeah, but this is like way worse.
way worse, right?
This is way worse. Because like Upstart Goblin helps you at least draw into like another card that could be just way better. This is like, yeah, you're thinning your deck, or you're thinning your deck with just you're putting shit cards in your deck to like thin your deck, and it's like it's not generic. It's like you have to grab a goblin. But I mean, maybe I don't know. Like, what a water fire deck that searches this, and then you play it, and you search another one.
Yeah, and you just keep going,
Play
right?
it,
Like
you just keep searching.
searching.
Play a bunch of 1 CP freaking goblins that just chill. And then I don't know, where you play the Dark Kefka and they become forward. I don't know. That's probably a little too
Some
thick.
that's a long one, but yeah, man. I don't know where this one's gonna go, honestly. But the fact that it does like thin out the deck, it is searchable, right, with Verena or whatever, the water backup, and so it
Yeah.
just there's something there. But remember, you also have the other goblins, right? The one drop that gives haste. So like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
let me think if we
That
can.
one pops itself. Draw a card as well.
Yeah, give something haste and then goblin.
Yeah, it's an old card.
I mean, you have a few
But
choices, right? Like it says,
mm,
search for one job goblin, right? So you have the princess goblin, and then yeah, these are all goblins. You actually have 7 targets.
is there a backup goblin?
Yeah, the princess goblin, the one that searches
Okay.
a light character,
Yeah.
right? So there's
That's neatish. You can search a backup. That's like kind of decent.
the ice
I think.
goblin. Sire saying put the ice backup, put goblin into the break zone, search for one monster and add it to your hand. So there's more synergy there too, right? Like uh, if you don't have the way to get the one you want, you can goblin to whatever it is you need.
Goblin toolbox. What
Goblin
the heck?
toolbox. What does this one do again? Attacks for goblins or something?
In general, most of the goblins are pretty bad. I think the fact that it can search a backup is probably the most relevant thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a 1 CP like card that just helps you for consistency's sake. I
I
think
mean,
that's
and that goes
probably
with the like the searching too, right? Like it helps thins out the backups even more.
yeah. I think what's kind of cool about how the game is progressing is I think backup counts are getting smaller and smaller. There's a lot of tutoring that they're adding
Yeah.
for backups. So which is cool because then we should have more games where people shouldn't be saying, "Oh man, didn't draw a single backup. That's why I lost." It should be more like, "Well, no, that shouldn't happen anymore." There's just so many things that search for each other. So I'm glad that they're printing more cards that are like helping with like consistency,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially like within like your forwards or not like in a shitty summon, but like either in a backup you get another backup or a forward or a monster, something really cheap that helps you like maintain some consistency. So that way you're not just like, oh, I lost because I bricked even after I mulligan.
Right.
Obviously, that's like a tilting thing to happen to anybody, right?
For
So
any
if you just
yeah,
like,
of
oh,
course.
I run 18 backup. What the hell, man? So
And you still draw
yeah,
you still break.
yeah, and you still brick, right?
Um.
So,
All right. We have next. We have Merilith.
mm,
One
holy
5
moly,
cost chaos. Yeah, yeah. this
holy
one
moly!
this one comes full art if I'm not mistaken too, right? It's
I think it does, yeah.
illustration by Toshitaka Matsuda. First strike. When you receive your 5th point of damage, you may pay 1 fire. When you do so, play Merilith onto the field. Merilith onto the field. This effect will only trigger if Merilith is in the break zone. That's not a bad effect, honestly.
I agree. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Other than that, though, I just what do? You play just one of these, right? And then you find a way to mill it, or play
I
2 and leave it.
Yeah. The thing that sucks, like damage 5, I know people would say, oh, damage 5 is not hard to get to, but I feel like the game is getting so fast now that like these types of effects, if you're not setting them up like at your own like pace, you really don't want to be playing cards like this situational that are like, oh great, this card just sucks, can't do anything with it, because people are either killing you fast or they're setting up really fast and then they're going to outvalue you really fast. So I feel like this card can only be really that good if you can play it for free, right? So is there other cards in the game that can cheat this in for like free?
like
These chaos cards are chaos cards. Like there's a synergy with chaos cards.
you
It
have to
seems.
pitch
Like
them to
other
draw and do stuff. Yeah, like if I can pull it up here. I agree, Medic.
only
Very
chaos
very
cards.
nice art, by the way. Let's do job chaos, right? I think they
If
would
you
all.
can play this somehow for free, then it's playable. But if not, then I don't think it can do a whole lot. Even
Uh,
though the effect is cool.
I don't think they do that, but when chaos instance which is unless you nah, I don't think they
There's
do it
like
for free, right? They all do something else. Like you may
uh,
discard a chaos to draw 2 cards, discard a chaos to choose a forward and break it, or choose a forward, add it back to your hand, choose a 5 cost and break it, and then choose a card in your break zone, add it back. Yeah, it's
oh,
just
Lich.
breaking, but there's nothing else really to like.
They don't. Oh, I thought they cheated in other chaos monsters.
No, that
Right?
would
With
have
like,
that would have been busted. I'm sure there's.
uh, so what? I guess Salteus maybe plays this thing. Does Salteus hit 5 or lower? Is that what that card does?
Salteus. Yeah, it hits 5s. But there's also I mean, this
Is
could effectively go into the versatile deck too, right? Like,
Yeah.
because even if they don't want it, they pitch it, and if they're on the the back end of the game and they're losing or something churns, it doesn't work out in their favor. They could come back with something like this, right?
hmm Yeah, so I mean, yeah, this thing could just keep coming back. I guess, but the thing is, like the versatile deck, it probably wants to be playing cards that are essentially like
Do win
net,
faster, right?
netting them something, right? Like they're playing a big 5 CP card, but then they also want like that card to come in and do something, not just be like, oh, I just never die as long as I pay 1 fire CP.
I mean,
And
9K
to be
first
honest,
with first strike is not too bad, right? It's not gonna
yeah.
get blocked. I mean,
I also look at versatile decks being like, when is a versatile deck sitting at 5 damage? They're the
well,
one dealing the damage.
yeah,
They're
that's
the
true.
ones like
Well, that's what I'm
killing
saying.
you.
Maybe it's just like an insurance policy. All in all,
Yeah.
though, a card like this, I would call like an anti-aggro card too, right? If you're able to like pitch them or have them sent to the break zone, right? Somehow, like if
Mm,
you are losing, right, and you get to 5 damage, you can pay a fire CP out of your backups that
mm.
and then just play a forward to kind of help you survive another turn or just hold off like aggro. How important it's gonna be, I don't know.
Probably not. I think it's going to be one of those cards. I mean, I look at this card because of its job chaos, and I'm like, there's got to be something that adds to this job chaos thing, where a chaos deck
I mean,
would then be like, but
I know
if
there's
they
a
don't add
chaos
something
searcher.
like that, like if they don't give chaos monsters something, then I don't think this card even is like a generically good. It's just a card in the set. You know,
Well, I thought
it's
there
just
was
like
a searcher.
a filler.
Is that all of them here? Yeah, no, there's no. I thought there was a searcher or something. There's like a guy. There's like an Earth backup or something that has to do with these job chaos guys. I think.
Yeah, I thought that there was something.
Or
for
he's
chaos
or
cards,
he's Edge Lord, Chaos Lord, or something stupid. Whatever. All right. Well, that's all right. We can move on.
That's fine. Oh well, Merilith, yeah.
Maybe
Oh well.
maybe we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
Red
All right.
13, backup warrior. This one's also interesting. When red enters the field, you may discard a card. When you do so, choose a forward, deal it 7,000. When he enters the field, you may pay fire in a colorless. When you do so, choose a forward, deal it 7K. Also, so 2 autos, dealing up to 14, like on one target, or just knocking out 2 things, right? What do you think, JG? What are your thoughts here?
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess that's just like a cheaper, better. What was that other card that hit 2 things for 5K? I mean, that thing had EX on it, but like
Blaze.
just,
It's Blaze, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is just like a better Blaze because Blaze just isn't playable right anymore just because it's so expensive.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, I guess. Well,
I mean, just like 5 CP, like killing 5 CP2 drops, right? Like if you're killing those for like a situational reactive backup, like I don't know, like I said, the game's pretty quick, so I mean, unless you know your opponent's trying to kill you and in the perfect scenario you got that Blaze. I mean, in most cases, I don't think Blaze can kill anything anymore, right? So like I guess this is kind of like a power crap. This is like a better version of it now. It's dealing 7K to things.
and Sire saying yes. If you have Dijin out, this damage becomes 8K, and any of those other buffers, right? Like if you have I mean, in my opinion, this is a one of, right? This is gonna replace things
Yeah.
like the Ace. Remember how we all played the Ace, right?
Yeah.
in fire decks in certain lists. And then
Ace was a good card.
yeah, exactly, and this is better than that, right? Like
Yeah.
by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So because I think Ace was a total of 5 CP, this could be a total of 6 CP, right? If you end up paying, ditching, and then paying for the other thing, but you're dealing
Yeah.
significantly more damage. So, yeah, if you have Jin now, Manasvin War Tank, War Mech, or even Ifrit, the Primal, then this is dealing a lot more damage, and you can clear two things with a backup while developing board, right? Like,
Yeah, I think
is the Jin forwards only?
yeah, I think warrior is a job that can be searched with isn't there like an earth card that like searches warriors? So
There's
this is like a searchable. This is searchable.
it is fire forwards.
I thought there was like the like FCC card.
Yeah.
EX first attached to it, right? And
Here.
Hjord.
Yeah.
You know, searchable, has a pretty cool effect where it can like, you know, hit two things. I mean, what worst case scenario too about of this card is you could just play it as a blank 2 CP and then whatever. I mean, that's like worst case scenario. Whereas, and then in the scenario where you need to like, you know, shoot things and someone's aggroing you, pretty solid. I don't know how relevant the 7 category is because I don't think FF7 really cares about the categories so much as more so about the jobs right now, right? Like 7's all about job. Avalanche is more relevant than just being a job 7.
So, you know, obviously we've all seen the Maria, but I think this is one of the cards you make into a forward, into a 2-drop forward, right? If we're gonna look ahead, we've all seen it. Like, it's not a big deal, right? But you know, you make them a 2-drop forward, and then you have more 7 bodies on board, and that's something else you could like look forward to. Again, all in all, I think he's a one of.
Yeah, he's a good card though. Good one of.
All right, we got Kuri Wazet, FFBE. These FFBE cards this set are really like if I was invested in FFBE stocks, this set would really make me get my money's worth, I think. When Kuri Wazet enters the field, gain a crystal. When a forward your opponent controls is put from the field into the break zone, gain a crystal. This effect will only trigger once per turn. And then for 3 crystals and tap him, dull and freeze all characters your opponent controls. You can only use this ability during your turn. This card is obviously great. So first thing, gains his own crystal, which is very nice. And he's the opposite of what the Setzer does, right? Because the 4-cost Setzer says whenever something from your field leaves and you gain a crystal, this is like your opponent's. And then to dull and freeze everything, so the CP cost on this alone, right? If we're valuing the crystal at about 2 CP, this is cheaper than the alternatives in the past, right? Because it was play Ultimecia or Orin's S ability from Opus 1 or or Eduardo's S ability 2, right? Overall, this ability is much cheaper than that. Obviously, he has to survive the turn and have it out, but crystals isn't going to be the problem anymore, right? Especially since he provides one himself. And Agrius just makes crystals like crazy in ice, so I think this card is going to be a big closer in a lot of ice decks. I think this card alone could bring back like ice as a monocolor with crystals, right? A mono ice deck that revolves around crystals. JG, your thoughts?
I feel like this card sits in like an ice earth deck. Just very like control-y because it is kind of like a slowish card. Like you do want this card. Obviously, if this card's fixed for a turn, which it can easily do. I feel like if you're playing an ice earth deck, because you do, you can have you're controlling the hand, so you're making it awkward for your opponent to like do things, like to respond to it or just get rid of it. On top of the fact that like you could potentially protect it with certain summons, so that way it doesn't just get easily wiped off the field. However, I mean, I always think about when I look at cards like this, I'm like, that's like I don't know, Typhon. That just seems like fresh Typhon food, you know.
Yeah, see you later,
King. But I look at it, it could thinking like an Ice Earth deck because it's a king job, so we could
Yeah.
like Claris search this and an EX Burst search this.
I mean, it could also be ice water, right? Because of we have glass yellow, which we know about too, but it also Sarah searches kings, right?
Yeah, Ice Water could also be cool too because of that Celestia card. I think that card could like
add
another layer of just like
of annoying stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, being annoying, right? And like kind of slowing down your opponent. And then this card pulling off the 3 crystal tap thing. Yeah, like that's a pretty, non-targeting, dull freeze everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, take that, fucking
that
Suarez, bro.
And the way I look at like an effect like that, right? Like that's a really big effect in the mid to late game, not so much the early game, obviously. So that's why I'm looking at those slower decks of like its place, its home.
Gabe, you should have rated yes.
Yeah, so I do like the card's pretty good, and it'd be interesting to see it. In like one of those control decks, Ice Water, Ice Earth for sure. It is BE. I don't know if BE has many searchers other than just what Axstar.
The searchers in Wind actually, right? Next time, Gabe, don't worry about it, bro.
What's it called? But what was in Wind?
The FFBE searcher I believe is actually in Wind. It's Echo.
Oh, they have a generic Wind searcher that just searches BE cards.
I think so, right? Guys, confirm.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, I'm right here. What am I doing?
I'm always like, I always think about just like, well, Axstar.
Yeah, it's Mog.
What do you think? Does Versatile play this card as like a closer and slam this guy out for free?
I mean, I guess, but you would need to have more stuff to generate those 3 crystals, right? Like in general.
So probably not. I think it's more of a control card. The more I read it, I'm like, yeah, this is a control card, and like the longer the game goes, this card just gets kind of bonkers. If it sits on the field and does that tapping 3 crystal thing multiple times, could be pretty like game breaking.
Honestly, I don't.
Yeah,
well,
it's a cool card. I like it.
If you
after seeing Ice Earth, I'd like to see some more Ice Earth decks. I think it's a cool color combo.
We got chat in here. There's a lot of Ice Earth believers as well, and Ice Water believers. Yeah, we mentioned Claris to search them. Yeah, I still think I love that a lot of these new cards are bringing in double jobs. Like,
yeah,
the economy is very bad, but we everyone's got more jobs these. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I agree. This one's gonna be very strong. It's a very strong H, right? Like, now, oof.
Yeah, I think it fits the H just like perfect. I think it's like, yeah, this is a hero card for sure.
This Sazat is a little bad on quality, so sorry guys. The cost required to cast Sazat is increased by 1 for each card in your opponent's hand. When Sazat enters the field, if your opponent has 3 or more cards in their hand, your opponent reveals their hand. Select 1 card in their hand other than a backup. Your opponent discards it, and when Sazat attacks, all the forwards you control gain 1,000 power until the end of the turn. He's a Dawn Warrior, so he's the second one we've seen. With your boy Puck, yeah. Well, Lena too, right? I've been trying to cheat in Lightning currently with Lena, the new one. But yeah, this guy's very strong. He's the legendary, Ice legendary. Has that same effect as Lightning. Has like that Kate Sith backup kind of half effect in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And when he attacks, right, all the forwards you control gain, and he gets like Anthem, like he buffs on an attack. Yeah, I think he's a solid card. Cheating him in is not the problem, right? Yeah, Puck is one answer. Lena's another. JG, what do you got? He's Ice. That's your thing, bro. Talk to me.
So you're talking about the Lena, the 3 CP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good idea. Puck is also a really solid idea. I didn't even think about that. So that's a good call. Because Puck is automatically 4 CP, bring out a 1 cost, right? And then a damage 3, it's like a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's pretty sick. So cheating him in, I think, is really solid for this card. So then that way, automatically, you don't want, because if you play him for cheap, then you don't really get the second effect, right? The 3 or more cards in their hands. So, you won't get that. The thing I like about Lightning more though than this card, is the fact that Lightning has haste, and she's a little bit easier to like cheat in because she also comes in with like a forward, so she helps with those aggro aggressive decks to like put pressure. Whereas I look at this card and it's like, I mean, yeah, it's a 1 CP 9K that comes in off of a 4 CP backup, which is like, I guess, pretty strong the more I'm like talking out loud about it. But
Phoenix is also another
color
one.
mix, right? With like lightning. And is Ice Lightning really like a good color combo?
I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's a great color combo. I feel like Fire Ice has taken the reins of like the strong aggro color combo. And like it just Fire Ice with Versatile or Fire Ice with like the Laswell Charlotte package, you know, and playing like squalls and stuff like that, and just beat down your opponent as quickly as possible. So like this legend, I don't know. I kind of wish it had a way to attack. Like I wish it like had a way to attack faster.
right? Because then he'd be because then at least he'd be useful, right? Like right away,
Yeah.
like, and that's a good point, right? Yeah, he's strong if he survives, right?
Yeah. I wish it he yeah. I mean, and I'm sure there's ways. I mean, because if if you do get him in off 1 CP, then I mean maybe you do play like other cards that can haste him that aren't super expensive. But I still think that just like the lightning being basically a 10K like beat stick that's just threatening damage, and then because of the style of deck that she's in, which is probably what this deck wants to do too, right? Is like
Yeah.
make sure that your opponent has no cards in hand.
Yeah, I think together they're gonna be a problem too, right? Like,
Maybe, yeah, maybe they, yeah, obviously. Well, the thing is like, is there another way to cheat him in other than like Puck?
well, chat was just giving us. We can search with Diana and play him Phoenix, the 2-cost fire. I mean the 4-cost fire summon.
I don't know if I'd want to pay 4 CP just to like a summon, right? Like just to play this.
I mean,
feel like Puck is obviously like pretty good.
The idea is to play it on your opponent's turn, is what chat was saying here, and like that way when it's on, if it manages to survive, obviously on your turn it can start swinging in and doing this stuff. It might also be able to block, right? Like in theory.
True. Yeah, it's a cool battle trick. I feel like we gotta get something a bit cheaper that gets this thing in. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's pretty decent. But I don't think it's like amazing. I think it's a little. I think like as far as like Ice Legend, the good one is gonna be the Sarah, and this one is gonna be like okay. But I mean, that's just my take. I could be very wrong. But this card just I want this card to have haste, and then I'd be a little bit more impressed with it.
It's easily searched, man. It's Cat 5, so we have Cat 5 has a lot of support already. So I don't know. We'll see where this one plays out. I don't think it has a home at the moment, but I think with Lightning it might be, it might like create its own kind of deck, right? If we have more effects that say the cost required to cast this.
One thing that's kind of cool, I just realized.
Here we go.
It's a Mobius.
Right. Yeah.
So because it's Mobius, you could go back in time and maybe somehow the male legend is playable. And you can slam her down with this and go to combat and haste this fool.
There you go. Man,
Maybe.
he did it. He did it.
Maybe.
Are you guys, man, no one had caught it, bro. Are you ready for it?
Maybe that's, Bart's Boko is another cool idea. I guess that's true.
Oh, Bart's Boko for sure.
That's how you give it haste with Bart's Boko.
There you go. Yeah.
Ice Wind beat down, or just Bart's Boko. It doesn't even matter. You can just play a 1 CP from the Boko. Yeah, maybe. Ice the Dane.
Ice the Dane.
Oh, they're saying that this is like a better version of the 3 CP Zidane because it looks at the hand and rips a card.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that's one way to look at it.
But I think what I like about the Bard's Boko idea is that it does come in with haste.
Yep.
It's also going to do that. It's getting cheated in, so you're going to get that discard.
That's true. Maybe Bart's Boko goes from mid-range from like could aggro to mid-range, right? Because of cards like this.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Bart's Boko. I think that might be like better place for this card. Yeah.
Good eye, Infernal. All right. We got Harley, backup secretary 4. Tap, put Harley into the break zone. Each player discards a card at the end of the turn. At the end of the turn, each player draws a card. You can only use this ability during your turn. Man.
Each player put into break zone. Each player discards a card. Then at the end of the turn, each player draws a card. Interesting.
That's a weird one.
I mean, it's
Does
Yeah, it
ice
is a weird one.
does
I
ice
don't know
need
how
more
I feel about
backups?
giving my opponent.
All right,
I don't
so
know. I don't.
so I don't know how many ice like mono ice enthusiasts are here. Like JG, I know you're an ice wind guy, right? That's your like go to, right? But can we all agree that ice needs better backups? Is this a thing? Can we get some?
Yeah, it needs better backups, and I think my take on ice
Yo,
is that it
us,
needs
welcome.
backups that like are more like good for like being reactive. You know, something that like stops your opponent from just beating the shit out of you. And all they keep doing is like these weird like discard, dull freeze mechanics, and they just keep sticking to that. The only thing that I can remember that actually did something to like right away on entry that was like kind of generic was like two chessable and just being able to let, but your opponent still gets to pick the frickin' forward, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like Ice could use something where it's like, okay, just play a backup, kind of like how the fire backups play themselves and shoot for 7K. Give me a 2 CP backup that just dulls and frees something.
Yeah,
That, like,
straight.
I don't think that's broken.
I don't.
That's
I
totally
agree.
fine.
Make it unique,
You know,
right?
and
If make it unique if you have to, right? Like
yeah,
obviously not a standard
exactly.
unit like with
Yeah.
multiples or something. But so my problem is that the problem I've always had with ice and when I try to play it is that the ice backups suck. Like I can sure Ysael's an auto one, right? And then so is Kate Sith, but that's it. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I want to play the Edward, I'm committed to the other Harley, right? Almost sometimes. I don't know. And now Arcanist is showing back up again, but I don't. As far as the card goes, Harley's sure interesting. If we want to keep like snatching cards out of their hands, like if we know they only have one card and they search something and it's like, nah, get that out, draw some the next one, whatever. Sure, but it's not even like this card might be more interesting if it wasn't unique. And Harley's already been everywhere already, and we use the other one I think for to reduce the cost of Edward. So. And I agree, Medic. Sorry, Gigi. Medic, I agree. They do need some summons help as well, backups and summons.
So this card, let's say, this card's totally fine though if you have no hand, right? So you just like you can like if you have no hand, you just get to draw, right?
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
discard it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have to discard in order to draw.
Yep.
Yeah. But like I don't know. You have to break the backup though. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of I don't know. It's garbage. I'm just gonna say fuck.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
All right, this Shiva
I
looks
enjoy it.
tight, by the way. I love the way this one is drawn. It's type O. So choose a dual forward of cost 2 or less. Break it. Yes. I love this one. Your opponent discards a card too. Now that's very nice. This is what we're looking for in a nice backup. A nice summon.
Cool.
Choose
Too.
no more. We need Zidane hate. A little more Zidane hate. Choose a forward. If it deals damage other than battle damage to a forward this turn, the damage becomes 0 instead. I like this effect in general. I think it's a very unique effect. So, just off the top of my head, Squall, right? The legendary, the newest legendary. Whenever he swings, nothing, right? Am I reading this correctly?
Choose a forward if it deals damage other than battle damage. Yeah, turns to 0. Yeah, exactly.
Now, the real question is, right, like, it's being reduced, right? So this doesn't not work on BFA, but that's okay. I think Squall's a bigger threat right now, like, in general. I see more Squalls in decks than I do BFA.
Yeah.
And then to be able to break a 2 cost and make your opponent discard a card, now that's pretty value, right? Like,
Yeah, this is good. This is a good summon. I'm glad that they printed this type of card because like Zalera 1 CP was like the last time they printed something decent, and that card is just like not good anymore. So you need something like this that can punish people, especially the 2 CP cards that are just like getting more and more kind of like bonkers.
Maria Noel Zidane.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, so I'm glad this is being introduced into Ice because Ice already had problems dealing with RPP and stuff like that, right? Like RPP is kind of like something we don't like too much around our locals.
Yeah. Yeah, this kind of stuff is this is just like just Ice decks. I find and Wind decks they do struggle with like spot removal. And so this is like a nice little updated version of some good spot removal that you can put in your deck that's not really hard, that doesn't require you to like I think about cards like Chocomog and stuff like that. That's like, or like Typhon, where it's like these cards that have like kind of like drawbacks to them, where Typhon doesn't become a forward until it has 3 backups, and then the freaking Chocomog, needs to have a certain amount of characters, and if you want to draw a card, you need to have, X and Y, go together, and it's like, so this is just like, 2 CP, do stuff. 2 CP, kill it, discard. I mean, something that has to be dull. I mean, who's not attacking these days? So
I mean, yeah, like, and I'm sure in enough ice things you can, dull everybody really quick for no reason, right? Like,
yeah, just generically killing something 2 CP or less is good. I do wish that they kind of released. I wish ice, a card that I wish that they would update because it's obviously just the power level has changed so much since then. A card like Sid Reigns from Opus 1 needs an updated version of that, where it comes in and it does maybe some damage, and then when it kills it,
if it kills, yeah,
maybe you can abuse that by like and like the same thing, you could like bounce it and do it again, and
right,
do like a ×2 discard or something like that.
Damn, Opus 1 Sid Reigns, those were the days.
Sid Reigns does the 4K on a doll, and if it dies, discard.
Right.
So I feel like they should do something for a more relevant power level than 4K. That would be kind of cool in a body, because obviously having those types of effects in bodies are way better than summons, in my opinion. Just because obviously having the board presence is really important, because your forwards deal damage and your summons don't, right? So,
right.
I think like something like this in a forward would be more ideal, but still pretty good.
So, all in all, I kind of wish 2 things. My final 2 thoughts on this is I kind of wish it wasn't a dull forward. Like, I know it's not a big deal. It's not too much of a big deal. But if my opponent, at a certain level, my opponent reads this, right? Because we'll know. Like, if I'm playing RPP and I'm like, oh, this MF is playing ice, and I'm like, all right, let me be a little more cautious now, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, though, that I'm actually glad that it's in the Shiva package, right? As far as summons goes, right? Because there's already, like, the other Shiva package, like, engines, right?
Yeah.
Like, something that revolves around that other one. The more Shivas you have or whatever. So adding this doesn't hurt you anything as long as you're able to stick to that Shiva package in general, right? Like,
that's a good point about the Shiva package.
It only benefits you more, right? So
yeah, that's a good point, because that's a package that's like potentially quite good. It just needs better Shivas, because the Shivas are not.
And this is one of them, right? Yeah.
Like, most of them are not very good. So this adding to that is actually like quite relevant. So
exactly.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Brought it up. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We can move on.
So 3 CP. What? Oh wait.
Scholar.
3 CP Thaumaturge. Lol.
What?
Well, isn't this like when Scholar enters the field, pay an ice?
Oh yeah.
When you do, your opponent discards a card.
Randomly,
so
yeah, actually. So yeah, 3 CP Thaumaturge.
Yeah, so shitty Thaumaturge next.
And what is that? 3 damage. Ice tap. Choose a forward. Dull it. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
It's very cute. I love this art actually.
It's just it's cool art, and it's what the fuck? This is a hero?
I'll take 3.
Wait, hold on. This is a hero?
Yeah. I'll take 3. 3 full arts. Looking for looking for 3 full art scholars, guys.
This is a forward too. Why is this a hero?
Because it's not bad actually.
Rich. You're gonna pay 3 CP, a 3 CP 5K to discard a card? Why wouldn't you just play like Opus 1 Sarah and just get a 6K body?
Because it doesn't have its damage 3 ability. Guys, chat, let me hear your thoughts on Scholar.
Damage 3 ability, choose a forward, dull it. I'm pretty sure every ice backup in the game does that ability. I don't think we need this.
So Inferno says this Scholar should have been a backup. I agree. I would have rather have seen it a backup.
I don't know. At first glance, it seems really bad, but hey, cool picture.
Okay, Medic agrees with Inferno. All right. Well, I mean, again,
Looks nice. That's about it. Sounds like a very solid assessment.
Okay. All right. I won't waste more time then.
Let's talk about the main waifu. Let's talk about.
Yes. So I did not get to do a card of the week last week on this one. Just work caught up with me, guys. But here we are, right? and I agree. This is a big deal, and I think JG and I have like similar minds on it. But all right. When Sarah enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add a backup among them to your hand, or play a Job Moogle backup among them, the 5 you revealed, and return the other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. When Sarah attacks, choose a character, dull it, and freeze it. If you control 4 or more backups, your opponent discards a card as well. I'm going to let you start off with this one, JG. Give me...
Okay. I mean, my initial assessment of this card was the fact that, like, I know a lot of people look at it and they say, oh man, like 5-drop 8K, that's pretty steep, you know, if this gets answered, you know, because I mean, obviously everyone thinks about best case scenario where it's like, oh, well, if they just have the Amaterasu, well then you just lose, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's true, but I mean, if people have the answer to your deck, you just lose anyway in most cases. So this card is quite good, and I think it's quite good because of the fact that I look at the other Moogle here that they revealed earlier in the week.
Yeah,
The new 13-2.
Yeah, we could peek at
when
it.
it enters the field, you can remove the top card of your deck from the game, and you can cast that card for like a reduced amount.
Yeah.
So I think that like in combination, and the fact that like with that card, like you have the potential to ramp quite well and like do it quite efficiently.
Can the card it reduces
so think,
be 0? Oh no, it cannot be 0. Okay, never mind.
So like with Sarah, like her coming down in the early part of the game is not like that bad if the deck is designed obviously around the fact that you want her to get going quick. Because as soon as you get her on and you start ramping quite quickly, yeah, she starts becoming quite a huge threat. This card sticks for 1 turn, and you're in a really good spot. I think also with this card, if you don't want to go with, she could easily be hasted with the lightning backup, and you could probably splash the lightning backup in any ice deck as long as you play maybe the 4 CP snow. He can come down, get that lightning backup down. The only thing I don't like about that snow is that like I feel like he's really expensive if he's not cheated in. Like if he's not being played for free off of like an Al Cid or a Salteith, he is pretty steep just to get that lightning backup. So I don't know. You'd have to figure out a build on how to maybe make that work. I think she's even better with haste, but I also don't think she needs haste. She could also get by without it if the deck is built around, again, like I said, like revealing, cards that get you going like quickly. And then maybe you just have to play this card like fairly early too.
Right.
So then that way she sticks, and then you just start getting your backups going. But yeah, I like her. I think she's good.
Okay.
I think, and that's not just me being biased because I love Final Fantasy 13 as a game.
Okay.
But, there's probably a little bit of bias, but I think that this is finally a card for Final Fantasy 13 that's like decent, like that's pretty, like not decent. It's like it's actually quite good for a legend because they've printed 13 cards in the past that were kind of like mediocre. I also like the possibility, my last thing, that the fact that they printed Null in Wind, so we could see Final Fantasy 13 decks now playing in Ice and Wind, which is a great element combo, as we all know. Wind cards always make good cards, so I think that also adds to her like potential and like that 13 package like being quite strong.
Okay.
Because of the element combination and the elements they put those cards in. So, yeah.
Okay. Before I give you my estimate, let me check on chat. So Medic says using this over the starter Sarah. I can agree there too. Infernal doesn't really like her. She's worse than White Tiger. It'd be better if she was 9K. I agree too. But like JG was saying, I don't like to ever assess my cards anymore with but Amaterasu, right? That's not like, I know that's the reality, but if I'm gonna like just throw every card in the trash because of Amaterasu, then I'm done playing this game.
Yeah, exactly.
And if she had played Cat 13 cards in addition to Moogles, I agree that would be good. But I think her thing has always been Moogles, right? So that doesn't like, they wouldn't do that, right? We would need someone else to do that. And then Medic also says, but I think originally I was for the starter, but I think the Dull Freeze and discard. Yeah, I think I agree that last ability is worth the L, I think, right? You're getting a lot of value off of that, right? You can Dull and Freeze anything and then just, nip a card out, which is great. All right, so real quick, as I'm giving you guys my thoughts, my biggest problem is the backups, right? When trying to build the King Mog Moogle Primal, again, was the same problem, right? The backups and the numbers and the Moogles that I have to search for. There isn't a single Moogle that I'm dying for, right? Now, with respect to this new Moogle, right? This new Mog 13.2, my biggest problem is his name, right? Because Mog 13.2, right, is stupid music. It freaked me out. I'm like, who's talking? my problem is the Mog 13.2, right? Because it's both my searcher and my what else? What else was he? I think there's two searchers, right, for 13.
Lumina is the other one.
Oh, Lumina. Okay, never mind.
Lightning.
Okay, so we do
Lumina
have a
and
searcher,
Lightning.
right? We do have a searcher still. That's good.
Yeah, Lumina is the lightning searcher, so she can search category 13, and she's a lightning card. So that's like I feel like that's why they printed this. Is like they're like, okay, you got your category 13 in another name. It shouldn't be a big deal. Although I really don't like that they keep spamming like Mog 13.2 is like almost every goddamn ice Moogle.
Right, and that's that's what I was. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? Like. Yeah. At most here, even going to what you were saying, let's say they're in Icewind now. Let's say 13 is in Icewind. What's happening? I'm trying to get Stillskin for a monster. I'm trying to get Mog for an FFBE. I'm trying to get Nono. Nono's probably the best bet, right? To like when I attack, reactivate stuff. And then, but after that, what do? Like, if we're looking at Ice ones, I have nothing I want. Hurdy? Maybe? Like...
I mean, we don't have to necessarily focus too much on, because like it's just like either or, right? It's like
it's add one to your hand or play one, right? But
we don't have to focus too hard on like a Moogle engine. I don't think that's necessary. I think what's necessary is just trying. Like I think this card. Sorry, just keep going. But maybe what I wanted to say was basically just, I don't think we have to focus too hard on Moogles to make this card good.
You're right, and
a big issue.
But I think the most value would be the Moogle thing, in my opinion, right? So the other ones would be like Moogle FFCC, which is the color fixer, or the Moogle Brothers. But then again, all in all, that would require me to play more Moogles to reveal and search more, right? The last thing I would just like to add to this is. Oh man, where was I with that one? I just lost it.
Oh, it says or play the Moogle onto the field. I thought it was like character or Moogle. I'm like, what the
No.
Okay, never mind. Like, okay, so the Moogle thing makes more sense. I thought it was character. I misread it completely. I thought it was like character or backup, and I was like,
no. So it's add a backup to your hand, or play one of the ones you revealed. That's a Moogle, right?
Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean. Yeah, so you have to focus on Moogles, obviously. Yes, of course.
Yeah, to get the most value, right? Because it's like, if you play this, and then you get one, and then it plays it, then you're at 2 cards or whatever. That's the value is like, this card effectively becomes 8 CP value, right? Like, so, you're able to generate another one. If you rip the Moogle Brothers, it gets you another one, right? Like, that's, even more CP value, right? But, again, it's just weird, right? I really did for.
Can just get you going. I like the fact that like I think a card.
That I know where I am.
Something that like searches something and then plays it onto the field is very strong, very good.
Yes, I agree. Which is why we would want to capitalize on that.
For sure.
What was that last part?
I was just saying, like when you play a card and it says, add the card and then play it onto the field, like that's really strong, and I think that's something that like. I think people are underestimating, like the fact that like this card can be like a card you can play early or later if you want, to just get going. And I think that like probably the earlier you play this, maybe the better. Just so then that way you're gonna be at like what? If you go turn 2 Sarah, you're at 2 backups, and then
maybe
and then if your opponent doesn't answer this, then your next turn you put down 2 more backups and you're good. You're right, like, and that's not hard because. I mean, you should have still a bunch of cards in your hand to do that at that point, right? So,
Infernal says, play it in Soiree to search Amber better.
Maybe I'll play Soiree so I can... What the fuck? That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, if you're not playing a Moogle onto the field, it's definitely not nearly as good. I think it has. I think this card. What the reason why it's like why I like it is the fact that yeah, it can. It's not like super inefficient like the older versions.
Right.
It has like a good effect that again, helping you ramp is a really important thing. Helping like getting your backups is really important, and you can build this a number of ways. You can put this in a deck where maybe you want her to be like, okay, I get to 4 backups and I have like a way to haste her. So then now I'm gonna play her. Now I'm gonna like get to my 5th backup and I'm gonna tap my lightning that's sitting up and haste her or whatever other card someone discovers that might be better to haste her and get in there. So you can play her a bunch of different ways. Ice Wind could be a bit, you can play cards like Unsanagashi to like protect her, and if she's protected by a 2 CP card, like Unsag, that's like a cheap cast, which might go in hand with Ice Wind stuff, which is like play stuff, activate stuff, draw cards, do more stuff. That could also help. That could be a different way to play Icewind. So I like the fact that it's in those colors for sure. I think that she's got a couple different routes you can go with her, and I think they're both fine. Just which one's better, I guess. I'd actually have to like play with it to like see which one's better.
Right.
And see like does she actually need to get haste, or is it totally fine for her not to have haste?
I think as long as she rips the backup, like you're fine because she's effectively she's either 3 CP, right, because she gets you one back, or she's 8 CP because she plays something, right? Like so. The last thing I was gonna say, which is what I had forgotten, was I'm finding myself loving the newest Sophie, the 2-drop Earth. So I'm thinking like if I play Sarah next to Sophie, my opponent has to choose between like, is my Sophie gonna kill something or is my Sarah gonna do her thing, right? And it's
that's a cool idea.
That's just one thing, but yeah,
we're going back into like the Ice Earth kind of control decks.
I mean, Ice Earth has always been good, and I think Sam proved it over the weekend too. So
yeah.
But yeah, final thoughts here is I need better Moogles, a reason to get out of bed, right? And I don't know if this other one, the Mog 3-2, 13-2 is enough, but it is very good. It's a step up, and then like JG mentioned, we have the Lightning Searcher now, which isn't the best because now I'm stuck in Lightning to search the Sarah. But I know Ice has searchers, right? Ysael and Laguna, but
this card could also be good in Earth in the sense too, because with Earth, I mean, I guess I don't know that I really hope they print a better Snow one day, but I think just everybody hates that guy. But there was that Snow card that searched like 2 Sarahs out of your deck of a different cost. That was like an Ice card.
Oh yeah, 6 cost.
I remember that card, but I feel like an Ice Earth with this card.
But why would I do that?
Like because she's 5, like you could Star Sybil this card in, and you're getting that max value Star Sybil. The fact that she's playing Moogles is also kind of cool, which means that. Do we see this card because it's if we do put more of an emphasis on Ice and Earth, that we could go 3 or 4 colors because of Moogles and generating different colors.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
Earth Lightning and stuff like that. So do we get into like some crazy
tricolored stuff, like
multicolor shenanigans with this card?
I mean, and that's always been
what Earth does with that.
Yeah, and that's always kind of been the MO for Moogles, right? Because it's either King Mog doing this. Like, I think maybe if you put them both in the list, it might make a little more sense. But I still think I need one more Moogle to make a difference. Like, one to actually be like... And in this case, it has to be a backup, right? So...
Isn't there like a card called Moogle Brothers or something that like...
He just searches more. Like, he just...
Searches more Moogles?
He scries 5, right? That's... Yeah.
And then it adds it to your hand or something?
Let me double check. No, not Moogles.
So with the Mog 13-2 and Moogle Brothers, you now have like a good chance of playing a Moogle onto the field and then being able to play another backup or getting a card in your hand.
Yeah.
For like nothing, right?
Yep.
So Ice Earth seems pretty cool too with this card as well. Actually, hearing Star Sybil just playing this card is kind of neat,
All right, and I think we kind of touched up on this Mog 13, right? It's good.
We kind of did them both.
All right.
Agree, yeah.
All right, we can move on to Kelger. How you guys doing, by the way, in chat? You guys enjoying this? You guys want to see more stuff like this? I don't know. Let me know.
Be liking this.
I'm having fun, and I'm glad people are involved to this time. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
So Kelger, Dawn Warriors. This is like a meme tribal, right? Like,
I mean,
how many Dawn Warriors have we seen?
Well, Dawn Warriors has always
off?
been decent, right? Like they were really good in title from what I understood first, and then the old Sisat like infinite loop deck was a thing, right? Right, where Sisat would tap all. I didn't see you drinking water.
That's okay. So infinite loop. What was your comment about infinite loop?
Nothing. Just the old Sisat that would do stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show. And Ragnarok, I didn't even. I heard. I acknowledged you, but I wanted to say welcome to the stream, buddy.
Always need more
Ooh,
FSTCG streams.
I need
that
to.
is true.
I'm with you on that. I will do better if you guys can. If you guys like Thursday nights and JG or anybody else, actually, I think if JG's busy, because I know I drain him for I bug him a lot. But maybe if you guys are down, I could start doing this again, like the streaming matches, but with different players. Like I had considered inviting Emmanuel on and Sergio Bravo and a couple other people that, or even, chalking it up to one of you guys. If one of you guys want to play games with me and stuff next Thursday.
That's a great idea.
We run a few games for a few hours and stuff like that, and we can just talk smack on stream. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, and I'll F it. I'll put it together.
I think it'd be cool, yeah, if you play
Cheers,
a
Infernal.
variety of people and you play it, maybe if there's some world representing like players out there that would like to, get some games in and give their 2 cents on new cards and things like that. I think that would be some really cool stuff as well. So you get to see them play with the new cards or just play games in decks and then also give their insight as well too.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you got it. Thursday. Yeah, Thursdays has always been the nice window, I think. So you got it. You can catch Tacos on Monday, and you can catch me on Thursday. Let's work on that. All right. So Dawn Warriors. If your opponent doesn't control a forward of cost 5 or more, Kelger gains haste, first strike, and brave. This is, that's okay. When Kelger enters the field, you may pay 1 wind. When you do so, choose a forward of cost 5 or more and break it. Okay, so he's self-sufficient at least, right? If my opponent has something that's not letting me get my good effect, then we do this. He's not bad. What do you think, JG? He's a legendary. I just realized. I think he's bad for a legendary. I think he's bad for a legendary, but I don't think he's bad.
Yo, they gave a Dawn Warrior a freaking L. Another Dawn Warrior. All right, let me read this because sorry, I was messaging someone who's at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, tell him to get us the Kaiba mat. The Kaiba mat.
I'm asking if they can hook me up with some exclusive Yu-Gi-Oh.
If you have them buy you one of the Kaiba mats, get me one too, please.
Okay, I will try my best.
Thank you. All right.
I just realized that I got the message about an hour late, so I don't know.
Rip.
So
all right.
I'm hoping that they're still in the area. Because I was waiting for the message all day, and then they just got back to me now. So I'm like, oh my god. Although in San Diego, it's what, 7?
It's 3 hours. Yeah, it's about to be 7. So all right, go ahead and message them.
Still hope for Kaiba Mat.
All right, go message them. So Ragnarok, that's good to hear. I'm surprised that Australia doesn't have such a big following. Isn't Matiski out there in AU, or is he UK?
Matiski should be Australia, right?
I know he's knee deep in the Beauty and the Geek, but
I heard about that. What the hell? That's amazing.
But
Beauty and the Geek. I can't wait to watch that. When is that airing? We do a live watch along.
I would love to do that. We have pictures, but I'll show you those later.
Oh my god!
All right. So yeah. So give me your thoughts on this card, JG.
All right. So if your opponent doesn't control a forward of cost 5 or more, Helger gains haste, first strike, and brave. Okay. He's a 4 CP. So when he enters the field, you may pay a wind. When you do, choose a fire to 5 or more and break it. That's not terrible, actually.
That's what I said. Yeah.
4 CP 8. So that 4 CP thing is crucial because there's a way that we could play this card without having to probably pay 4 CP, right? We could probably slam this in with another card.
Cecil brings him in. and he's
Yeah,
protected.
Cesspool, right? Yeah, so there you go. Category Mobius. I don't know how relevant that is for this specific card, but it could.
But
It could
Sildra
be
searches
relevant.
him easy,
But yeah, I mean, the fact that you have the ability to cheat this in, and then all you have to do is pay one wind, and you can kill something.
and then
And
when
then
you kill it, he's
and
live,
then if
right?
they don't have anything, he's getting in there. I think that's a good card. It's in a specific deck, but it's a good card.
Yeah, I agree. And there's not much too much to break down here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward. He's like a big beat stick. I'm coming in, right? Like that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mobius is whatever. It's searchable by both like the Mobius backup and Sildra, which is nice. And then Wind is always a good color. I actually like this in general as a Wind card. Because we need more stuff with like all of these, like haste, first strike, and brave, right? Like Wind has limited characters with haste, first strike, and brave, right?
Yeah.
Coming from like just playing mono Wind this last few months since re-raise, like I think this card would have been great for me to have in re-raise Florida, right? Like just
Yeah.
a one of or a two of instead of a Dell, or like my extra copy of whatever, I forgot what I was playing, or instead of the arc that I was playing. But I mean, I think he's a solid card.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think he's solid. He does, and I think like the thing with Wind is Wind doesn't have good spot removal. So like you made a good point about like just being like generically like pretty good in like a Wind based deck, doesn't maybe have to go into a Dawn Warriors specific or Mobius deck. The fact that he can come in and just kill something. I mean, you probably do want to be playing this with the Cecil for sure. But the fact that he can come down and just kill something.
Kills Bismarck, kills
not
the other
everything,
Cecil.
but he will kill some pretty big things that could, be a problem in the game. And maybe we'll see a lot of high costed cards in this set that are going to be a problem, where like that 5 or more is going to be pretty relevant. And it's good. I like it. I'm surprised for a Dawn Warrior card. Every time I see a Dawn Warrior, I just like roll my eyes and be like, all right, more trash.
I think he's gonna be full art, right? Like,
That's cool.
He's character illustration by Bayard Wu, so Bayard Wu. So they should look pretty solid. I'll take 3, guys.
Cool.
I'm looking for 2.
take 3.
I'm looking for 3. Okay. But my final thoughts is, again, going back to what I was saying, is that like in the mirror match, in the Wind mirror match, I would have loved to have this to break Bismarcks and to break other Cecils in other matches. Like a quick.
Don't worry, Bismarck will just get banned. Don't worry.
We'll save the Bismarck talk for another week. Maybe I'll bring some people on.
That card won't get banned. That card's fine.
Okay.
That card's fine. Don't worry. It won't get banned. You'll be popping Bismarcks for days.
All right, we'll move on to Luso here. All right, Clan Gully member. Quick, without searching, guys, how many Lusos exist already? When Luso enters the field, if you have cast 3 or more cards this turn, draw a card. When Luso enters the field, if you have cast 7 or more cards this turn, deal 8,000 damage to all the forwards your opponent controls. I know this was Matiski's actual reveal, like spoiler reveal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because he's the Loop King. So
Loop King.
yeah, he's the cast every card in one turn guy. So as far as the effects go, they're both pretty solid. The fact that he's cheap, it just makes it easier for him to be the 7th cast, right? Because he reads like Zidane, right? You have to be the 7th or more cast to trigger these effects. And so I don't know, like, I guess the idea, all in all, I didn't watch the video, unfortunately, that he posted, but I guess the idea would be, like, on a big turn, you just do this to clear your opponent's board and then go for game, right? Like, it's a big shove to do everything here. Because he's so cheap, it shouldn't be a problem, right? When you have Atamos and Rosa, right? And, like, I mean, most people get to 5 or 6 casts anyway, right? With full backups up. So throwing a card like this in Ice Wind at a 2 of just seems easy for me, right? Because you can just just hold on to it. He's 1 CP. That's not going to hurt you. Like, that's not going to break your bank to clear your opponent's board right before you do everything else, right? JG?
Yeah, so I'm kind of iffy on this card because it sounds like sometimes it's really easy to get like 7 cast and do this board wipe stuff. But sometimes, I mean, to be honest, like cards like Rosa and Atomos, you're kind of like fine with them just getting, you're fine with like doing like 3 casts usually. Like the only time you really want to be doing more than that is you're really kind of like trying to board wipe some really big things and you got the barrel line, you might need to go to that 4th cast or something. But I don't know, man. It's a 1 CP that needs 3 casts to draw a card. So, I mean, if you stare down an aggro deck and this card's in your deck, this card is just garbage. This card's not doing anything.
Sure.
Because you probably don't have a hand, and you need to cast 10 million times, and you can't do that because you don't have enough backups and you don't have a hand, and you're probably just going to die. So this card's not going to be very good in... I don't think this helps what Icewind needs, because what Icewind needs is... I keep saying this a lot. It needs spot removal, or it just needs cheaper ways or easier ways to just get rid of, like, aggro. And Wind... They're not giving Wind or the Icewind deck like that kind of like easy answer. Like King Tycoon doesn't really cut it, and like Typhon's pretty good, but still kind of expensive in some scenarios where like a simple 2 CP Laswell is kind of just cucking you, and you're just sitting there being like, wow, do I really have to like
later Infernal
card, you know?
Have a good night, buddy.
I look at this card and I say it's good, but I don't think it makes the deck much better, and I don't think it's as good as maybe some people who think that the card's really good. I don't know if it's that great. Maybe it needs to go somewhere else, and it's not good for Icewind, but maybe it's good for another deck that can pull off a million casts because it's set up all these ways to play a million different things really cheap, and it's holding a full grip. But I mean, to me, I look at this and I just say, I don't think this is I don't think it's that great. I think it's something. I don't think I would put this in my deck, but I mean, I could be proven wrong. I just look at it and I say 7 casts, a lot of freaking casts, man. That's a lot.
The last one that read like with multiple casts was Leko Haboka Leko Echo whatever the backup that I thought would have seen a lot more play, and I guess you're right. I could see this as like, the deck itself has to revolve around that more often. And then having him and RB Sire here was telling me, yeah, it's another search for Stiltskin, sure, but you know, it also fights for that spot, right? We like Stiltskin so much, great, because he searches the Ochus right away, right? That's what the main thing is. So if I have to fight, if that card has to be used differently now, like it almost loses its value, right? Because I need to have Ochus already, and then I'm wasting the search for this. So that's kind of the argument I would make for that point, Sire. But I think he's interesting, but we'll see how. I don't know. I think
spots are tight.
Spots are always tight, right? In these lists.
Yeah.
I mean, spots are tight in every list. I think. I don't think I can build the deck anymore without having 60 cards in FF decks. Going, damn, what the hell do I cut here?
Yeah. True.
All right. Well, we can move on.
Sounds good.
Onion Knight, Ninja, Warrior of Light. I love that he's a Warrior of Light. When Onion Knight
is also key too, right?
Yeah, ninjas are coming up. This next set, ninjas are gonna be edging, killing people, bro. Watch it. When Onion Knight enters the field, choose a forward. It gains this forward cannot attack or block until the end of the turn, which is decent. Return Onion Knight to its owner's hand. Play one forward of cost 3 or 4 from your hand onto the field. What? That's pretty good, right?
So when Onion Knight enters the field just before the game, the okay. I think telling like someone they can't block. I mean, that's pretty good.
No. The second part.
What makes it good is the fact that it's his jobs. I think the jobs are the key thing. I think it's just ninjas, right? We don't really care that it's Warrior of Light. We care more that it's ninja.
No, look, the second part. Read the second part, JG.
Return the Onion Knight to the owner's. Return Onion Knight to its owner's hand. Play a forward 3/4 from your hand onto the field.
This is what we were looking for, right? To cheat in all these other cards.
Kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually.
Yo, cheat in Kelger right here, bro. Break the 5 cost. Give him first strike, haste, and brave. Let's go. But on the real note, I can see this being very, very useful in... So, I haven't played ninjas enough to justify it yet, but that alone is very good. I know that for a fact, right? But the Warrior of Light thing is, I think, the most interesting one for me because he helps me play the Ferris or play the Barts faster. That then lets me trigger my Crystal generation or my Ferris triggers better. Also, the fact that he's wind lets me like stay in wind and makes wind easier to manage in that list. So I like him for those reasons already. The first part is just for fun, right? That it's like, okay, if I'm trying to, hit you for a point of damage, I remove an obstacle or whatever, right? I think he's cool. The ninja thing is also a secondary thing for me right now. I just know ninjas will be relevant this set a little more than they have been in the past because there's that tricolored deck that's going around. It's fire, lightning, wind. That with ninjas and the edge stuff. So this is going to add to that as well.
Yeah, it's a cool card. I like the fact that's a kind of a cool ability. The fact that it can return. It's not put into the break zone. Like put the card back. Into
Exactly. Yes. Very good.
Does ninjas have a way to haste?
Not that I know of. Let's look. While you discuss, I'll look.
Because I look at that and I just think that that's cool, right? Like you don't have to break this card in order to, you get to retain that, get that CP back and then play something more expensive onto the field. Depending on how your deck is built, I mean, maybe there's a Bismarck in there and you trigger Bismarck and you draw a card. I don't know, or you can trigger other effects because you bounce something. I don't know.
I mean, the Bismarck idea is cool as well, right?
Yeah. So I think this is cool. It's cool for it seems like ninjas. It seems like and it buffs the edge counters, and the edge can just start popping shit off. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, I've never played ninjas, and they only seem good for a short period of time.
It's definitely a B rank rogue deck, but but it can definitely squeak in some games like if you're not paying attention, if you don't know what's up, then.
Sire mentioned. Oh yeah, I guess it could fuel the Onion Knight that has that what's that the color mixed Onion Knight. You can make an Onion Knight deck, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing about the Onion Knight thing, though,
is that there's
you just gotta put so many freaking Onion Knights in your deck.
Yeah. In order for it to be good, right?
To do that, it's gotta, that's a bit of a handful for when deck slots, like we said, are so tight. You're mucking up your deck with a lot of the same name that you just you can't do a whole lot with after, right? So.
Which Lena are we talking about, Medic? The 3-cost one, the light one? Or are we still talking about 3? I mean, anything that helps me get to the 3-drop that uses crystals? Yeah. Either one would be good, actually, right? I'm sure you guys know about the infinite loop with the Light Lana and Arc, so anything to help move that along would be great as well. You know who gives these guys haste? The Lunith, right? Lunith gives Warrior of Light haste, right? Oh, baby. That's a good one.
All right, so he comes in, and then you turn him sideways, and then you can play...
Kelger.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And then Kelger breaks something, and then he can attack. Bro, plays.
Is there other warrior or you could just play Ferris for free?
That's what I'm saying, and that's what are my thoughts, right? The biggest thing is to play Bart's, the new Bart's for free, and then play the Ferris for free, and then when Ferris comes out, make your next one cheaper, and then you could effectively pay him again for one, and then make the next one cheaper, and then so on, and then that kind of triggers the Warrior of Light thing.
It's actually kind of funny because it doesn't say once. It's not I always think about Yu-Gi-Oh! Hard once per turn. It's no, this card could come in. Wait, does Lunith only give haste to one specific card?
At the start of the battle phase too, so you wouldn't be able to.
Okay.
But still,
can you just loot this mother? Can this guy just keep coming back and coming back in?
I mean, so a lot of things could happen there too, right? Let's say Ferris is already out and Lunith, right? He comes in, deals 6k, right? You can give him haste, send something back, bring something out, deal 8k, or make the next one cheaper, and then it snowballs from there, right? You have a lot of options there now. And now
it's cool.
Yeah, I think he's cool. He's a good card.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
This one is unfair, by the way. I don't think any deck needed this. Chocobo, EX Burst. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add a character among them, and return the other cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. Like, why?
Dude, that's totally fair. What are you talking about?
Totally fair.
Icewind needs more EX burst. This is perfect. Thank you.
Nobody needed this card. Absolutely not. Please.
Great. I love this card. I actually didn't even know this card existed.
I mean, this card.
I'm like, yo, this is awesome.
This card is easy.
I love this.
This card is easy in like every deck, in anything.
Oh my god, man, this is great. Just like give me that extra cast. Add a card I need. Oh, thanks for the lock. Nice. I like it. Good card. That's crazy. That's like wow. Just one CP, like just generic, like.
Yeah.
Cool. With a burst attached to it. I love it.
Not much to say there, other than good cards are good.
Yeah, I mean, you can go like Izana, then search this, then play this. Like that,
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Make it back into my deck now.
Exactly. Medic just was saying the same thing right now. Searchable summon that grabs characters. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool. I like it.
This is Dancer. Now.
All right.
When
okay,
Dancer.
I'm noticing that Final Fantasy is getting into like the waifu territory with their cards now. Right?
Oh yeah.
It's just like it started with Soray. And
now
we're
no.
Seeing more and more of these cards. I mean, if this card will be any good though. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Well, before we even read it, first of all, I'm for more waifu stuff. If they give me a playmat by the end of the year, we're getting it. All right.
I mean, it's a cool card, a looking card. The art is sweet.
Just throw all the 13 girls on a playmat for me, please, Square. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Yo, stop giving win cards. No, more win cards. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're looking. So Sire, I don't know how long you've been following me or you've been with me for now, but this season I've gone from a water player to a wind player, and it wasn't by choice. It was by I didn't want to play Mastery. But yeah. Anyway, let's. When Dancer enters the field, you may pay 1 wind. If you do so, choose up to 3 characters, activate them. At 3 damage, duel an active job Dancer or card name Dancer and choose a forward against 1000 power until the end of the turn. So in terms of Dancers, I think this card is okay. It reads really well.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Dull a job. I just wanted this damage 3 is dull an active job Dancer or name other. Gains 1000. I don't think that's like we don't really care about that too much.
Well, actually, yeah. So the thing is, JG at damage 3 when she comes in, she'll buff other cards, right? And then you can pay and then activate them back up, right? Like.
I like the fact that she just comes in and activates any 3 characters.
You're right.
So that's a very versatile effect and I think also another key thing to focus on is the fact that she can be played like 3 of her on the field. So you're not worrying about any name clash stuff.
Yeah, and the Dancer deck. Have you played against that? Have you played against Dancers, by the way?
No, never. I've seen people play them. I have no idea what they do.
Okay. So Dancers, the whole deck revolves around dulling your Dancers to dull your opponent's forwards, and they pretty much don't attack, right? And then Lilith I believe says dull 5 Dancers, and then deal 8k to all your opponent's active forwards.
Mm-hmm.
So just giving yourself more triggers on like or bringing stuff back up is very useful for this list. So this is a really good card for Dancers in general. Also an extra name, yes, very good. Sire, hate to plug myself real quick, but I also YouTube this game a lot. So if you're not subbed or following there, you could check it out in the my descriptions here, or just look up Emo Tempest and yes, I'm always on Tacos' streams on Monday, but I also cover the game religiously. But yeah, so go ahead, JG.
No, I was just gonna say I wasn't really gonna say anything actually. I think the card's pretty good. I like it more so than the freaking 3CP Thaumaturge. So this is pretty good. I like it. Cool. I don't know. Does Dancers get better because of this though, or is this just generically good in a win deck?
I think it's both, right? So I know for a fact. Again, what I'm seeing here is that the fact that Dancers can get bigger now, on a whim here, is very good because they're usually very low cost and stuff. Also, they suffer from the Amaterasu and like Summon Curse. Like it's an effect heavy deck that your opponent can't target with effects, but it loses to summon decks, right? And so, which is why we never saw it too much because Mashiri and RPP were so rampant in the meta. But now that it actually does fairly well against Soirees, interestingly enough.
Okay.
And so with something like this, and like as Sire's like pointing out, this card is almost, it's like pretty much 1 CP, right? You tap 3 and then you pay 1 to activate everything again. Also, it gives them a little more survivability. It also helps them like punch over stuff, right? Because if they can't deal the damage with their actives, this helps, pump. So it does a lot for the deck actually already. And thank you, Sire. Appreciate that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And if you haven't played Dancers, maybe I'll build a deck for next week and I'll run some games with you, bro.
Sounds good. Yeah, works for me. You can smoke me with some dancers, and then yeah,
All right,
make
cool.
me a believer.
I love it.
All right, we on to Noel?
Yes, I want to hear your thoughts with Noel. I already covered it on the channel, so go for it, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna grab water while you read it.
Quick read over again.
I'll be right back. All right.
But when Noel attacks, you may remove Noel from the game. If you do, at the beginning of your next main phase, play Noel off the field. Okay, so he attacks and then he just disappears. When he enters the field due to the ability of card named Noel, select one of the 3. Choose a character for more break it, or Noel deals a point of damage. Search a forward and add it to your hand. He also gets paid that damage 3. 2 CP 5k, job commando, doesn't really matter. Category 13. Yeah, when I first read this card, I was like really high on it. I think I remember seeing this like as the card of the week, and I was like, oh, it's a really cool card. And then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know about this card anymore. I love Final Fantasy 13. Noel's a great character. He's a really great character in the trilogy. The only thing, though, is that he disappears. So, like, I mean, I guess, to be fair, you're never blocking with this card because he's a 5k, and you really want him to keep getting in, and you want him to keep attacking and leaving the field so he can keep just killing shit. So you're probably just, like, never blocking with this card, so I guess that's irrelevant whether he's on the field or not. I think the fact that, like, you can haste him, again, that's why I go back to, like, the fact that it's like, oh, you can play Ice Wind because of this card, and you can, like, you have to protect this with Unsag, or you can make him faster with the Lightning backup because, Snow can just get cheated out. But I sometimes I just don't get why this game takes the Final Fantasy 13 category, and they just effing throw them in every freaking color, and sometimes it's like, dude, can we just pick a freaking color and just keep them there and just make them good cards? Like, nah, we're gonna make no card Fire Lightning. Now we're gonna make him Wind, and then like we're gonna take Hope, and he's gonna be Ice Wind, and then we're gonna put Lightning and Lightning. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I just want to play them together because I feel like together they would be really good.
Yeah.
So I like the card. I'm not sure about it, to be honest. The more I read it, I'm like, I think it's a cool card, and I think, but you have to build around this card. I think I don't think it's like generically something that you want to just throw into your deck because you hope they don't answer it. It's a 2CV5K, and if someone answers it, which people can, I mean, you're gonna neg, and it sucks. And you really do want to haste this guy. I really think you have to haste him, or at least have a cheap way to protect him so he can start doing this stuff. Because if you don't, it's not great. So yeah, I do think it's a cool card though, but I really think that you gotta haste this guy at like before damage 3.
Right.
But I think the fact, because like again, if you're not playing against an aggressive deck, then this ability, I mean, if you're playing against an aggressive deck and they put you to damage 3, and then on top of that you're going attack, leave the field, and then you're like, oh shit, I kind of need him to block.
I kind of need him to block.
3 or 4 forwards, I'm just gonna die.
Nah,
so,
but okay.
The damage 3 thing kind of bothers me a bit. I feel like he needs to be something. You kind of want to play this in your deck, and you want to set the tempo with this card. You want to play this card and start swinging with it as early as possible. Because yeah, when you start breaking characters of 4 or more, and everybody's playing their 4 CV backups, that's pretty damn good. I also like I just the 1 point of damage thing. Actually, the more I think about it, is pretty relevant too. When you're in the later part of the game, he could come in and swing in, and it's like, okay, you can't kill my Null. I guess I just win. I've got you at 6.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's some cool things here, but you do want to build around this card a little bit for him to be really good. So that would be my take on it. I think he needs a little bit of help to be really good.
So, if you didn't notice, also this is the second L, the Wind L. So
Okay.
Wind has been revealed. The
Wind
thing,
has been revealed.
yeah. So the thing is with this card, I think he's just super dangerous, right? He sits there with Zidane, right? If you don't answer Zidane, you're super fucking behind, right? Like, and he sits there with all those other 2-drops, which is why I'm glad there's more 2-drop hate in general. And yeah, giving him haste isn't a problem, right? We have my biggest thing was you put him in Wind Fire for you do the Belias combo like you used to do the old Zidane, or you do Wind Lightning and you do the Jellyfish thing, right? So that way from turn 1, he's already a problem. And then after that at damage 3, he's like, you know, an even bigger problem. So the best thing I would think for him, yes, he can sit in a regular Wind deck in replacing, again, when every deck has flex spots, right? Like you would agree with me there, I think. And I think he should always take those flex spots in your Wind deck or anything with Wind, because he can either A, steal the game. You know how back in the day when people were at 6 damage, they would search Adele and Adele would be unblockable? He's the new Adele, but even better, right? Because he does so much more in the later game. Like, after
The thing is like Adele can steal the game right away. This card's like, okay, you could still attack with this guy. He pieces out, and then your opponent's like, okay, I'm just gonna kill you now.
No,
I'm gonna kill you.
No, but what I'm saying is that at damage 3, he does so much more, right? Like, break a character of cost 4 more. Like, what? We hate Wedge for that reason, and his is only backups. I mean, 4 cost dull backups, right, or something.
Yeah.
This guy is just literally gonna clear your back row. Like, say goodbye to Star Sybil. Say goodbye to give me another one.
The fact that he has multiple options is very good.
Yeah, he's just a big toolbox. He's a standalone thing. Again, my biggest thing was, you're right. You could base the deck around him, or like kind of have him as your starter super aggro play, right? That if it goes unanswered, you win the game, right? Because I remember when I was playing Fire Water with Water Zidane, it's like, okay, if I draw 4 cards a turn twice, the game is over, right? If you let me do this twice, like, it might not be as critical, right? Because it's what? Choose a character, break it, no deals you a point of damage, or you search a forward and add it to your hand. Sure, I'm gonna get value, like, but
no.
I don't know. I think he's great.
This will beat on like control decks that like to play that longer game.
Oh yeah, get out of here.
This will beat on that. But the decks that are aggro, which I mean people love to play, and lately, this card obviously is just dead against that kind of strat, right? So if we could just side deck in this game, it'd be fantastic. I could put 3 copies of Null in my side deck. And get him ready for the
get him ready for them. I mean, so I'm actually happy. I forgot to ask you. That was actually my other question the other day. Canada's gonna be 2-deck format, right?
Does it say that? Because I didn't know that.
Oh my goodness. Gabe, are you still in chat on the draw games? Is Pennsylvania gonna be 2-deck format? Anybody in chat can answer me. Are the last few re-raises gonna be 2-deck format? I heard this. And I haven't been able to confirm it because I don't ask anybody. So if I have some of you here, let me know.
Your community, okay? Medic's community is swapping to 2-deck format. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know whether Canada's making it 2-deck. I don't remember seeing that.
I think you should.
I could care less either way. You know, I mean, either's fine. I mean, it's cool.
It's cool.
But,
I think that's cool, Medic. Do you mean your community swapping to 2-deck format for locals in general, or just like, is Medic in Canada also, JG? I feel like he's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Medic's from like Winnipeg or something.
Winnipeg.
Right? Wait, Winnipeg, right?
A bunch of loonies.
Please tell me it's Winnipeg, right? I think that's what he told me.
Oh, for locals in general. Damn, that's awesome. Do you guys stream over there? I gotta watch this. I want to see 2-deck format matches. Honestly.
But yeah.
Yeah, Winnipeg, you got it. JG wins, everybody.
I'm not a terrible person, and I remember. But yeah, I don't think anything like because I didn't check the specifics of the re-raise. I just said I'll be there.
Anyway, so I'm
It's,
pretty sure I have it on good authority that the event's going to be on 2-deck format, but
I mean, either way, I mean that's fine. That's kind of cool. I kind of don't mind that because you want to see a variety of decks, especially in this like reboot year. You
yeah,
want to
yeah.
see a lot of different stuff. You don't want to just see like
Soirees 6 out of the
yeah,
8 top 8. Yes, I
fucking
don't ever want to
soiree
see that
all
again.
day long, right?
I'm very
See that
disappointed at
comment?
everybody in Omaha, by the way.
Good. Well, yeah, to go back to this card, it's a cool card. I like it. I hope it does well. But I do think it needs haste earlier than damage 3.
Right. Okay. I agree.
And like you guys are, I think Medic mentioned like Wind Lightning, and you did too. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
jellyfish.
That's his problem, is, like, he's gotta go in
Electric
Wind
jellyfish.
Fire or Wind Lightning. That could be very much a thing.
Yeah, Medic. That must have been awful for them. And for that, tell him I feel him. But don't worry, 2-deck format fixes that. All right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but yeah, we can move on. Noel's, I think he's good, and I think he will definitely 100% see play.
Oh, okay.
All right. What do we got here? Hope. Look, your favorite.
Well, he's not my favorite, but it's a neat card. I do think this card's not bad for a
Is
common.
all right. When Hope enters the field, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a character, add it to your hand. If it is a Category 13 character, also activate Hope. That is very good.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the first things that came to mind for me with this card was you can search it off Nora, which is an EX burst 3 CP
Backup.
card,
Yep.
And I mean, if you want to get extra like gimmicky, you can play Bartholomew. Which plays the Hope for free.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Is Bartholomew a backup also?
That's some good ramp, yeah, and I mean, do you go the full 9 yards, and does the extra activation matter? Probably not. That's
Sometimes.
probably just a bonus.
If that activation means you can play Ochu from your hand, yes, it does.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I guess based on like those 3 backups kind of being together, or maybe even you just play Nora and just Hope, and you don't even care about Bartholomew. But I feel like Bartholomew is just like good value. I mean, this is probably a mono wind place, right? I don't
dude.
know if ice wind.
I mean,
Does this?
it depends who else is worth it in 13 to play it, right?
Yeah.
So here's one thing for you, right? Like, it doesn't have to be this Sarah, but the last Sarah benefited from the 3-drop, the box promo, the pre-release promo. Benefits from like other 13 characters off color, so there's that stuff like that.
Cards like this, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I do think, I mean, you could then play like Sarah. I mean, potentially on Kurt. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
I like it. I think it's a cool card. I think the fact that it's a backup that can be searched is a really cool thing on its own. So.
This is also like goes in with the casting abilities, right? If you reveal a 13 character and it activates it, which lets you play the Ochu, which lets you trigger Atamos and Ochu, and then you could play the Rose. You know what I mean? Like that rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's some cool things to consider. And there's a lot of wind. There actually is a lot of like Final Fantasy 13.
Let's look at 13 cards. Let's look at 13
cards.
cards.
You have like Unsanagashi. You've got Typhon. You've got
Typhon's 13.
You got Bartholomew, Nora, and Hope himself. Not that Hope would play himself, obviously, but like, I mean, between Ice and Wind, or even Wind, there's a good chunk of 13 stuff that's like playable. So yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. I feel like this card is like in a different version of Ice Wind. Maybe you just go hard Ice Wind, hard Category 13. You don't play any freaking summons, maybe like 1 or 2, and it's just the 1 CPEX burst Chocobo, and you just stack your deck so you never draw it. And yeah, I think that's like totally fine. Like I think that could be. I don't know how good that could be, but maybe that's the route you take.
JG, hot take: 13 cards suck.
Most 13 cards do suck, but I'm still gonna keep believing because I love that freaking game.
Nah, so here's the problem. Like, sorry, the best ones have been the more recent ones, obviously, right? Like the last 2 lightnings are great. The light one and the water one. The last
really cool.
And the ice one were also good. Orphan
it's
is
just unfortunate that they keep freaking name clashing them.
Opus
Like,
Opus 4 Lightning. Which one's that one? Let's go back.
oh, that's the 5 CP7K that Andy Carmona was aggroing people at Boston.
Ah,
Yeah,
my
that
boy.
was the Carmona special.
Yo,
right,
shout out
in
to
Boston.
the number one homie for real. Andy Carmona's
Yeah.
been with me since the beginning, bro.
Yeah, that guy. I remember a long time ago when I was new to the game and I saw him play that deck. I saw the Boston Crystal Cup. And I saw his deck list. I was yo, bro, tell me about this deck. And like I asked him for help and everything, and he was like the nicest guy ever. He didn't know who the hell I was, and he was just like messaging me back, giving me some help and some tips and ideas because I was a mono lightning gamer right at the very beginning.
Ooh, mono
He
lightning
was really
gamers.
cool about like messaging me back and helping me out. Such a
So,
good dude.
I'm not gonna give away too much information, but for those Andy Carmona lovers out there, there's high hopes for mono lightning gamers to come back next set. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no.
That's all I'm saying.
What's it called? But most of the 13 cards I see you looking at right now, yeah, there's not a whole lot of them that are very good. I mean, that 7 CP Lightning got super power crept very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah. The lightning, this one, right? The H.
Now I mean, the 3 CP is really cool. Banishing is always a really good effect in this game.
Yeah, this is my new. This is like probably one of my top 3 favorite cards from the last set.
Yeah, the summoner one.
Yeah, the Yuna Lightning. I like playing her next to my Yuna backup. I'm so like,
yeah.
I'm so giddy when I see that.
But I don't know. Wait, what does that Vanille card do? She's Earth, right?
Which one?
The 6 CP Vanille.
Oh, she does like
She a searcher? She like a Cindy?
No, right. No, she's like a Scionth of the Seven Dawn bitch. She just gets 2 cards back. I think it's a Minfilia? Yeah, Minfilia.
Why does Final Fantasy TCG hate Final Fantasy 13?
I'm not gonna lie. If they had a Cindy, that'd be great.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Well, I guess we can move on to Yagudo.
Yagudo. Man, I used to hate these guys in FF11. All right.
What the bird, man?
Yeah. Did you ever play FF11?
I played it when it first came out, and I stuck my freaking massive hard drive to the back of my PS2, and I played that game. And what happened was, as soon as I encountered a monster and I wanted to run away, I couldn't. I died.
Yep.
So I was like, this game's fucking stupid.
I'm
I
out.
can't run away if I fight something too hard.
Yep.
And then I just I played it a bit longer, and then I just stopped playing it. That was it.
Yeah, I have some fun memories too from that game. Very similar to this one.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool that I got to play an MMO on my PS2 at the time.
All right, so Yagudo. Choose a forward. Its power becomes 4,000 until the end of the turn. 2 win, tap, put Yagudo into the break zone. Choose a forward. Its power becomes 4,000 until the end of the turn. So not bad at all, I think.
That's kind of neat. Like a 1 CP, like little trick that just kind of sits there and chills.
Yeah.
After you reduce something.
It's very threatening, I think.
I mean, this is just like for this is probably more. But I look at this card as just like a sealed type of thing, right? It's a cool card to play with, your pre-release.
Realm does love this card because he's a 1-drop, but you put him out with if you Realm into this and the Tomberries, that's you kill something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I feel like with Realm, because she's like 5 CP cards, I feel like that card, like Realm's got to come in and play some good shit.
I mean,
I don't think this is good. I don't think this is good shit. I don't think that's.
I mean, in theory, you can kill 2 cards, right? Because with 3 extra CP, both Yagudo and the Tomberries reduce something else by 9k.
But can you use this effect right away when he comes in?
Not Yagudo.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say. So I mean, Realm's a good card, but I feel like she's gonna want to play something. I feel like the 1 CP slot. You want to play something really good if it's not going to net you something immediately.
I'm open for it anyway for Realm because I've been playing that Water Lightning Scion deck with Realm in it and monsters. And other than Skeleton, there's not much. I don't know if you've played that deck, by the way, JG. That shit is fun.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. It's a very fun deck. It's very different than what I'm used to playing.
Really? I thought it would be right up your alley.
Water Lightning. But it was cool. Just because I'm always used to playing Water Lightning that floods, right? So this is a bit different. But
I mean, that deck floods too.
Cool deck. The only thing I didn't, I wasn't a fan of the Tidus in the deck, so I chose to run. I chose to try and run Lightning H in the deck with the Lightning with the light Lightning because of the potential that you could, use the special with it, but then you could also cheat it in with Leo, and it has some relevant effects with the fact that you can like bounce things,
right?
While also controlling the board. Like it has like some good synergy. So I gave that a go, and it was cool. But maybe Tidus is better. But I just look at Tidus in a lot of scenarios, and I don't know. There's times where I'm like, yeah, this card could be good, and then I look at the card and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I don't like it sometimes. Like it's all right.
I think Tidus is great, and he's here to stay.
All right. Well, I guess for me, he just hasn't been like that like impactful. But maybe I don't see him enough. I've played a lot of games against like Mono Water and testing and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the conclusion always just came up to like, yeah, I guess he just always felt like a beat stick, and that had you on a clock, but the clock wasn't really that fast. So I just felt like I didn't feel like. I mean, I always compared it to like the deck that I was play testing with Ice Wind, so I just felt like it wasn't really that big of a deal. But maybe like my playtesting partner wasn't playing the deck correctly. That's always a possibility.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, I think that deck was fun, and I'm glad you tested it because I felt like you would have loved it.
Yeah, it's a cool deck for sure. I love the ideas behind it. The Leo is a really cool card.
Yeah. All right. So Ursula, Brave. When Ursula blocks or is blocked, you may put one backup you control into the break zone. When you do so, Ursula gains 4,000 power until the end of the turn. I think I saw this one. I remember seeing this one when it came out, and I think this one fits right in Soirees, right? Like, along with the Titus that they got, like that they're playing now, this card just goes in there too, right?
Does like Soiree even have room for something like this though?
I mean, not with the Titus anymore. I mean, I think they're really happy with the Titus.
Yeah, I think this card. I don't know where this card fits, but I mean, it's probably just a filler card.
Well, this is for the 4 players. So remember, we just got that 4 starter deck, right? This is also for the category 4 players that don't want to play the other monk Ursula.
Oh, true. Okay, I just always think when I hear Ursula, I'm just like, isn't the monk version just the better version?
Sure, but I think I'm with JG on this one. Yeah. So realistically, and that's why this game is so complicated sometimes when it comes to deck building, right? Because of the name clashes so many times. This is one way to play Ursula in this, that you're not involved in the whole Earth Monk package somehow, right? Like you can kind of lend yourself to a more Final Fantasy IV list that also has the benefit of lifting your backups, right? Or getting rid of your backups, right? Like opening up backup space. And me personally, I love cards that like do backup space, like that fix that up, because going back to like the Leo deck or whatever, there's a lot of times where the backup line doesn't move, right, once you're set, and I hate that because the backups that I draw later are extra dead, right?
Yeah.
And so, which is why I personally love cards like Robo, because I can break everything all day and then hopefully recover some of it. So again, this is something you may put a backup you control into the break zone. There's also, it's not removing it from play too, so anything that requires you to send it to the break zone to get value, like Larsa, Thornton, even if Garland's out, all those other weird cards, this triggers those, right? So
does Rampair come back? Lol.
Oh shit, does it? Let me see. Does this work for Rampair?
You pop the Rampair, play the Shintoto. I don't know. Whatever.
Let's look.
Is that even a good combo anymore?
I mean, I saw people play Rampair last set. Yeah, when Rampair is put from the field into the break zone, you may play a category 11. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing a 4 CP card to like.
That's why we're here, guys, to talk about this stuff.
Bit of a setup.
We need some quality 11 characters, bro. You got Yagudo right here, my dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Yagudo.
We're here for the Yagudos. All right, Seeping Bree. I thought I said Sleeping Bree because this card
So
is.
it's another plan.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say it because it puts me to sleep. No, I'm just kidding. When Seeping Bree enters the field, choose a forward until the end of turn gains 2,000 power and brave. For 4 CP, 2 Earth, 2 colorless, put Sleeping Bree into the break zone. Choose a forward, deal it 2,000 damage for each backup you control. So possible 10k. Yeah, I think the only thing I care about is that he's flan, right? So he's
exactly.
the flan says now you have 9 flans to get out of your deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or more.
Seems like it has like a decent effect, and yeah, but mainly it's just the fact that it's a plan for sure. And if you're gonna go plan, you're gonna go like a plan package, then we're looking at an Ice Earth deck that uses a lot of flans.
Yeah.
But is that any good? Who knows? Probably not.
Oh, it's search card name flan, not job name flan.
Oh, that's way worse, right?
Search for card name flan match. Yeah, no, never mind. That's way worse.
Okay, so this card's trash. On to the next card.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's move on.
All right.
Titan.
Love me some filler.
Some Swamp Thing. This one's actually absurd, in my opinion. So summon 3 cost. Choose a forward of cost 5 or more. Deal it 9k. All forwards you control gain 5k power until the end of the turn.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, no. So one of my other favorite cards from last set was Gladiator. And going back to Robo 2, I did it once in my tournament. In tournament, I was able to at 5 damage. I played Gladiator, give everyone 5k, 10k, and Brave or whatever, bullshit, and then Robo does it again next turn, and then he did it again the next turn. So this is something to get you there, to just kind of help you survive, right? Like this is anti Susano, anti Bismarck, anti what's that guy's name? Barreleye. This is anti, this is a good card on its own. And I think it should see play. I can't tell because it's kind of blurry, but it looks like it's an H.
I think that's an H as well too, but yeah, it's a decent card. I think the big thing that having 2 modes is always just gives you versatility, so it's not just a one-trick pony. You're not sitting there being like, man, in this one situation. I mean, it still locks you to 5 costs or more.
It could be a rare. You're probably right, Medic. I don't know.
Because 2 CPs are more prevalent, I don't know. But I think the big thing here to take away is, yes, you're sitting there holding this, saying, okay, any damage-based board wipe you've got, it ain't happening, right? Or if I'm pushing for damage,
yes, there it is.
You're gonna block and lose your dude. So
it's also I'm a little less this I can think of going back to Hien, actually. Fire Earth 14. You can just pump these guys before you do your big Hien swing for 7 kind of shit, right? And then not only do you only fear EX Burst a little bit less here, right? Because Soiree, just because that's what's relevant right now, I don't want to limit our brain scope to Soiree, but Soiree's Elvis, which always happens when you're pushing for game, by the way, is going to deal you 12, 15k, right?
Yeah.
You kill 1 forward, and but it's not so much. If it is 12k, it's not your 9k Bismarcks anymore, right? It's not your 9k Cecils anymore. It's your 14k Cecils, which live.
Yeah. I mean, just a 5k jump is pretty significant. And because guys are getting pretty big to begin with, I mean, you're going to get extra big, so it's going to be hard to use damage base to, like, kill things.
Yeah.
And you're going to win and you're going to win pretty much any battle, right? Like, no one's going to be like, on the stack, I've got to... No, like, if they swung and you block and you play this, like, the guy's dead.
Yeah,
there's no one getting
Sire's and like Sire said, well, both of you really, any like damage board wipe, Hecaton Chair, the 5 cost one is another one, right? My opponent's like feels very comfortable in that. I'm like, nah, I'm good, fam. We're up.
Yeah, exactly. That's not bad for a rare.
Solid card.
Combat trick.
Oh,
it is 3 CP, but
JG, you should know. Oh, I'm glad this one is very HD. Have you read this card yet?
HD. What is this?
Read
Shadow
it.
Lord?
Yeah. If you don't get this off the top of your head, what I'm thinking when you read this card, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
No, it's not.
When Shadow Lord enters the field, name 1 job. Okay. Break all the forwards with the name job. with the named job. Oh, and job standard unit. When 3 or more forwards are put from the field to the break zone by this effect, Shadow Lord deals you a point of damage. Damage 5, he gains 1,000 and Brave and becomes dark.
Which is weird.
He's category 11. He's Mobius.
There's your 11 card, by the way. There's your quality 11 card.
And he's 7/6 step 8. He's a costly card. Okay?
What does he remind you of? Yu-Gi-Oh.
This is a Judgment Dragon. Are we talking Judgment Dragon?
Nah, I was thinking more Tribe Infecting Virus, but yeah.
Tribe Infecting Virus.
TIV?
Oh, because you do, yeah, but Tribe, you have to get rid of a card. So.
I mean, that's right. This is better.
this is like freaking, you just play this sucker and you nuke the field. That's why I thought Judgment Dragon. But that's fine. I think maybe you're right, Tribe. Maybe Tribe, but
it's still cool. But yeah,
it's cool because the thing with Tribe is like you can just name something different each time, right?
Yeah, but of course you can name something every time you play him, but
Yeah, you could Renoa bounce this fool.
But he also kills standard units on for free, right? So that's just nice. That's just a nice throw in, I think.
This is kind of cool. I mean, I'm really annoyed that they keep giving Earth all the freaking board weight.
Yeah, give water.
Can you give Wind a board weight, please?
So I'll bring it up when we get to Glaciella, but Glaciella pretty much means water has a board wipe now, so we're good.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Wind gets all the good cards. Well, you know what? We only got King Tycoon. That card fucking sucks.
That card slaps, dude. I've won so many games with that card.
Really?
Yes.
Every time I test that card, I was like, wow, they just gave them a bunch of CP back, and then they just unload their hand again.
I mean, you have to win there, but no.
I mean, yeah, I guess that, yeah.
It's also...
I was only... I was testing it against aggro, and it just, I think, sucked.
Well, yeah, that does suck. But, anyway, Shadow Lord here, I think he's a good card. I think this is one of their answers, I guess, to Soiree, which doesn't technically work when Madam's out. But... I think overall this kind of answers the tribal thing, and I think we needed a little bit something like that. I wish we had this when Monks was out, right? Kind of, or even like what else was relevant recently? Dragoon. This is when Dragoons was relevant, right? Because it would kind of just knock all that like nonsense out. Samurais it's going to be definitely used against Samurais now. So I don't know. I think he's good. I think he's the one of in every deck now, like in every Earth deck. Because you kind of want to have that option. And if we can go into that, if Rampir does come back, then this is another option for Rampir outside of the other Totos. And also, if the Mobius deck comes back, because we'll into this for free to call, whatever, is just good. And then at 5 damage, he's Brave and Dark, sure.
Oh shit, you can Rampir this fool in?
Yeah, he's 11.
Oh, that is... Oh, that's actually okay. Well, that makes him even more playable for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if he's a one of in a lot of things.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, that's a cool card. The only thing is like, yeah. I mean, the thing that's annoying with that Soiree deck is that like this doesn't do anything to that deck.
Well, yeah. Again, if Edel's out, sure.
Problem deck right now.
If Edel's out, sure. But like, yeah. I mean, we get rid of Edel.
I mean, it's a good card. I mean, this could. Yeah, this basically is very good at answering a lot of problems, and straight up breaking things is good because then you don't have to worry about power levels and things like that. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, and the fact that you can cheat it in off of a Rampir is even better. So, yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good legend for sure.
He's a decent legend. Yeah, he's pretty good. He is like another Titan Primal too because he deals the damage like Medic says here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll drop this in like we said. Yeah. He's searchable too, super searchable, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, cool card.
All right, Ewan, the color swapper. When Ewan is put because he was lightning, when he's put from the field into the break zone, you may put Ewan onto the top of its owner's deck. At damage 3 EX burst, when Ewan is put into the damage zone, choose a forward, break it. This ability may only be used as an EX burst.
Interesting card.
Yeah. So I guess my question is.
Seems like a lot of work, though.
No, it's okay, right? It's an interesting card, and I like it a lot for what it does. The only problem, again, is the damage 3, right? Any earlier than that, and it's just kind of weird to draw this card in general.
Yeah.
When you
I don't know. This card's like meh.
It's meh to you?
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, when it gets pushed from the field to the break zone, put it on your deck, and then, oh, they swing a gun, EX burst on that damage 3, kill something. I mean,
Well, they're
it's
gonna
just
have
like,
to, right?
because it,
So that's the
and
problem. That's
yeah, right. Yeah.
what do you mean by can be? Are you talking about Ewan still, or so?
Wait, how is you and a Regeki?
I don't know. I'll wait for him to answer that. But what I was saying is that he's gonna take something either way, right, JG? So like if I put him out and then I block with him and he goes on top at anywhere after damage 3, you're not gonna attack again, right? Because I'm just gonna kill something, right? So, but if you don't, the next turn I just play him again, and then we're stuck in the same dance for a little while. If I'm playing 3 of this guy, anytime after damage 3, it's really, really annoying. That's all. That's the only. That's the only.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only way I saw him. Like, what I think he's a decent card, but other than that, like, I don't know. That's just where I am with him.
yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's cool. It's an interesting effect. I don't know though.
He meant for Shadow Lord, by the way. Regeki was like, that's a Shadow Lord.
Oh,
like,
true.
Yeah, clear all their forts.
Yeah, for sure.
We can move on.
This card, I was like, yeah. What?
We can move on though. It's okay.
Sure.
Durando.
All right, where are we on?
Do you guys like Ewan, by the way, in chat? Let me know any Ewan gamers out there.
Yeah. Does anyone else like Ewan? Because I think he's poop.
I think he's cool. All right, Durando. I think this guy's really good too. Another FFBE guy. When Durando deals damage to your opponent, choose up to 1 forward in your break zone and up to 1 backup in your break zone and add them to your hand. And then S, until the end of the turn, Durando gains 4,000 power Brave, and Durando cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities. Yeah. Durando's gonna be a solid like card, but he's also gonna fit into that Water Earth Crystal deck that we're loving so much.
3 CP has to attack in order to
He's
do its thing.
He's slow, sure.
A Viking? What the hell? Are we playing is this going a Viking deck?
Thank you, JG.
And it starts being played for free? Is that like a Viking? But Vikings aren't good because there's no Stern, right?
It's choose a card name Viking, unfortunately, not a job. But,
oh, so this card's like not very good.
Nah, I think he's okay. Why does it always go back like a whole page?
Basically, Durando is wasting our time on Twitch.
All right, no. I'm gonna stop you right there. What do you guys think about Durando for real?
Okay.
What do you guys think about Durando for real? Medic, Sire, Ragnarok, if you're still in chat, or anybody else lurking, let's get some real thoughts on Durando. Glaciella aside, right? Because his S ability would be a crystal, just a plain crystal, right? I still think he's a really good card if you're able to get him off.
I guess you could slam him down, turn 2, and be like, oh, okay, go, deal with them.
I mean, yeah, that's always.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess maybe he's okay, and I guess you could maybe even slam him in some Fire Earth shenanigans, and he can get haste and just get going and just start swinging right away.
So here's
the Opus 2 Sage backup. Just give him freaking haste.
So the best thing I could tell you right now is if you open 2 Durando and you drop him turn 2, you win. Here's why. Obviously, let's not say you win, right? But you have.
I was gonna say what the.
So anyway, if he survives, right? If he survives 1 turn, next turn, you give him Brave, and he can't be targeted for battle, right? Or any EX burst. He'll attack. Bring back Durando and a backup. Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you, Medic.
Yeah,
could potentially
good,
special every turn. Exactly.
I keep reading it.
And so just the fact that if he doesn't get answered and you have the other one, or the Searcher, or even the the Glaciella to buff him or whatever, right? He's gonna go off. This card is really, really, really dumb.
Yeah, I feel like you still want to try and haste this guy, right?
I mean, always. I mean, JG, I know. Can we get I just want to haste him counter for JG tonight, please?
Dude, because cards are just so much better better when they can just do their shit right
He
away.
he really is a lightning gamer, bro. Look at this guy.
In Final Fantasy, the game is getting fast. I hate maybe in my experience, every time I play something like this that's kind of greedy, I've always been punished. And so that's why I've always been on the mindset being like, if I don't have a way to get this effect off right away and start steamrolling this effect, I'm just gonna lose. That's just part of my torment of playing against friggin' water wind and ice wind my entire freaking life of this game. So I think it's just when I see cards that come down and they have to wait a turn, I get a little skeptical, being like, okay, this guy gets answered. He's a 3 CP 7K, right? I don't think that's really hard to answer, but maybe it is. Who knows?
You're right, but again, he can kind of save himself twice, right? If the ability if it's an ability targeting him, then he'll save himself with the S. And if it's damage that you're getting board wiped on turn 2 or 3, then sure, the S also saves him there, right?
Yeah.
Turn 2 Durango is greed. And speak of the devil himself, Warsaw is in the house. Welcome, buddy.
Yo, how's it going, Andy?
T2 Durango is not. I wouldn't say is greed. It's very optimistic, but I think it's great. I think it's doable.
Oh man! All right, so we'll move on from Durando. Durando.
Get around Elvis, 100% a good card. Yes. When Rydia enters the field, choose a forward, put it into your break zone. Wait, let me start over. When Rydia enters the field, choose one forward, put it into your break zone from the field during this turn. What? Am I reading this wrong? When
choose a forward that you put into the break zone from the field during this turn. Play. What the hell? Okay, this sucks.
So it's a revive, no?
But you have to on the turn that you put something into the break zone, you then play it onto the field for 5 CP.
It doesn't say that you put. It just said put, right? So, if it died in battle, revive it turn in main phase 2, right? Yeah, revive mechanics.
So you're basically you're crashing something, I guess, and then and you'd have to crash something worth it, right? I guess any 4 is not too bad.
I mean, if my Cecil or Bismarck dies on a weird stuff here, right? I'm thinking Earth Wind gamers here, and just Monster Reborn main phase 2.
But I like playing Monster Reborn main phase 1 and killing you, rather than going main phase 2 and going, oh, cool attack, pass.
I love Andy so much, bro. I came to supervise the words for the next element of cards. Because Lightning's right up next after this one. So.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. Oh, because that's so true. We are getting into Lightning soon.
Also,
this card's kind of situational. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Very expensive.
Really, I think it's great.
Requires a very specific situation to happen, and you are even making
But that's
the deck doesn't have a way of manipulating its backups. It's even worse, right?
All right, I'm gonna give you the same I guess I can see where you're going there, but I'm gonna just give you the same answer that I had for the Ursula. This is the other Rydia you want to play when you're not playing the 2-drop. That also does something useful when you're again, we probably won't. By the way, guys, we're not gonna get into the starter cards tonight. I'm gonna since I'm recording that video separately, I'm just gonna do that on my own. But this whole 4-engine, there's a lot of pieces here going on, right? This Rydia and this Ursula will eventually lend itself to that, and when we get more cards revealed, this will make more sense, I think.
Okay.
So I
just feel like the setup is a little hard.
I mean, but things die every time, right? You always do stuff in main phase 2. How often are you oh, okay, before you attack prep, I'm gonna kill this?
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying, right? All right, it's oh, you killed my, I don't know, you try to.
If you're gonna pay 5 CP, you want to revive something really good, though, right?
Well, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. That's not a good answer but still, whatever you're trying to Althea in an Earthwind deck, right? And your opponent says, "Nah, I'm gonna kill it first." You're like, "Okay, cool. I'll just revive it now." And then now I keep my Althea. Just a weird scenario, right? And how often does that happen, right?
I mean, yeah, maybe it could see a use in an Earthwind deck because of the fact that Althea is just grotesque and can like manipulate your backup line quite easily.
Also, like talking about
Yeah.
force stuff again, like we do have the Cecil, Edge, and Theodore that was also out, right? That requires you to, I think it's just tap for characters, right, or something. And look, Medic brings up a good point. Not tied, not locked out of light or dark cards. So reborning those are also.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Again, I think it's good. I think it's decent at the very least because it's just revive mechanics, right? Like a Monster Reborn, we don't say no.
Yeah, but Monster Reborn, you can just play one card in your hand. This is going to require several cards.
All right.
This is going to be 3 backups and 2 cards.
I don't think I can convince you tonight, so we can move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't think it's that good.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. Let's move on to what I think. Man, we have 2 more colors to go. This is a lot of cards so far, man. Hope you guys are good. We should be done within the next hour, so I hope you guys are. Go get a snack and have some water.
Yeah.
We got a little bit to go.
And
all right.
It's up to the channel. All right, cool.
Thank you. I didn't do it. So first of all, shout outs to Tacos. I believe this was TCG's Tacos exclusive spoiler. Backup, Clan Gully member and clan leader. When Sid of Clan Gully enters the field, choose 1 lightning character in your break zone and add it to your hand. EX Burst. Overall, very neutral, solid card. Like another 4-cost backup that lightning can use. I mean, we already have Sage and Zemus, I believe, that do similar things. Card is gas, 10 out of 10 play.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, right? In a mono lightning deck, this increases your lightning recursion, EX count, and FFTA 2 numbers, I guess, if that's a thing. But also, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the big thing that you hit there was the EX count.
Yeah.
Lightning has shitty like EX burst.
That don't break, like other stuff.
And so I think the fact that we have a pretty general like recursion with EX is good. This is a good card. I like it for a common too. Definitely something that obviously goes in like obviously a lightning based deck, of course.
Nah.
Holy shit, Giga Chad Clan Gully is what this card should be called. Holy
I was
shit.
just about to show. I was gonna say both of these things, right? So one, yes, this Sid of Clan Gully is ripped. That's why he's the clan
Holy
leader.
moly.
And 2,
Yeah.
yes, more shoals is always good.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool. I like it. Good card.
Avjong and Meng Ying. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I'm not here for these. Don't cancel me because I can't pronounce their names, guys.
Oljang and Majing.
Majing. Mobius 11 Automaton. When card is also named Avjong is also card name Avjong and Meijing in all situations. Okay. So it's pretty much a dual name card like the Titus Uno, right? Like you can't have other ones when you have this one out. S, choose character. It loses all abilities until the end of the turn. And S lightning, choose a forward, deal it 9,000 damage. Okay, so I'm assuming we. It's not the first, but it is one of the good ones. It is the first in a set, I guess, right? Because the other ones we just got in the anniversary package, right? But I guess the whole thing with this card is that you can use the Avjong and Mejing that we already have for either S ability, right? You don't need to use both names for one ability, so it's either name, which is very interesting.
I don't think this is terrible.
No,
this is like kind of decent.
This actually slaps, right? And if I'm right, and assuming I'm right? Like if I just use one Avjong for Shield Bash, right, and then Lightning, deal it 9k with it doesn't have to be active or dull or whatever. No Lightning specifications. I'm for it, right? And then Dispel, choose an ability, choose a character that loses all abilities. Choose a character. That's forward monster backup. That's very, very clutch, right? Like, again, there's 9 of these now. You have 3 Avjongs, 3 Mejings, and 2 of these. Now, I don't know. This might be a ruling question. If I pitch another one of these, can I use both S abilities? I don't think so, right? That's not the way this works.
Probably not.
Probably not, right? That I guess not. I guess that's actually like already in the rules. We should know that. But still, all in all, I think it's a very solid card. I think it has a lot of potential. I don't know if we have a top. It's one or the other. Okay, thank you for confirming. Easily searchable, Diana, Puck, right? You have a lot of ways to search. 11 searchers. It's not expensive, so who cares, right? Like, if he dies, who cares? He will probably kill something either way, right? You wouldn't play this unless you have an S locked and loaded. I guess my biggest problem with this is how many card slots we save to do this, right?
You're devoting a lot to this.
Right. Do I play 9?
Much.
Do I play 9, which is a lot of slots, or do I play 7, or do I play 6?
Yeah. In my experience with cards that require multiple copies of other cards, like Black Waltz, or cards like this that rely pretty heavily, this one especially, on the special, it's like you gotta cap it, or you just don't bother. Because I feel like then you're never gonna see it in the situation that you're gonna want to see it, and then it just doesn't do anything. So if you're playing this, you probably want to max out the copies of this card, so that way you can actually do these things, or you're just gonna be holding this one CP card. And it's just never going to do anything, or you're just always going to discard it, and it's just like, then why even bother playing it?
This just came in from a very reliable source. There's a new Afmao, searches both of them. I think I've seen it, but it hasn't been printed in English yet. So
she recovers from the break. So okay.
Yeah, and so
searches them and recovers them. Okay, that's pretty good.
I mean, as long as it's not on entry only, and if it's like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Sustainable, then it's better, right? But overall, I guess the card alone, without the off-mount information, is solid, right? Like, would play. All right, we can move on though.
We're saying mono lightning for this, then, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
We would play this, get more back, more S copies. Play this, search it. Diana, search it. Off-mount.
What's relevant too is that it gives it some cool abilities that other elements usually hold. Like, this is kind of like, these are like some water and fire.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like, choose a forward, doesn't have to be active, and then losing abilities. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's good stuff for mono lightning.
Yep. I think so too.
Yeah.
We did say it earlier. Mono lightning.
Mid Previa to cheat it in. Yeah, that's a thing too. I mean, yeah, I guess that's another thing.
Andy says we're Earth Lightning as well. See, so many possibilities. I told you, man. Lightning Gamers coming back next set. Now this one is fancy, man. I'm big on this guy. First of all, this is beautiful, beautiful card. I cannot wait to see what this looks like. Full art, foil, shiny in my folder.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
In my binder.
In my binder.
Not in my deck.
Nah,
Not in my deck.
I don't play lightning cards. If there are 10 or more cards removed from the game, Xdeath gains 2,000 power. When Xdeath enters the field, remove all characters in each player's break zone from the game. At the end of each of your turn, if there are 20 or more cards removed from the game, your opponent selects a character they control and remove it from the game.
I like this card.
Very, very strong card. I just think so there's, I guess my only problem with it, right? If I want to be like, devil's advocate, I guess, right? Is that I'd have to, and I guess in Lightning, it's not so much a problem, right? Because we don't have that much recursion, with the exception now of the new Sid of Clan Gully, and I guess how Andy pointed out that Afmal recovers these guys, and we have a few more things. Excuse me. I can't be too heavy on that, right? I have to play. It might be a different play style, right? Going forward after dropping this, and the question is, how many of these do I drop? Do I run, right? Am I hoping to get this off as or is he like a 2 of in a deck and Earth Lightning, Durando to recur both for spamming? I love these. I love my chat today, bro. What are your thoughts, JG? Give them to me. Give them.
I mean, when I look at this card, I mean, Lightning didn't have like any sort of like RFG break zone disruption for a long time. Like, what was it? Alba?
No, there's an old 5 cost that I can't remember his name in. But go ahead. Yes, Alba.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just think back, like, it just like Lightning was a color that always just kind of like lacked like some flexibility in its element. It always just kind of did the same things: kill active things and
Annuo.
Aggro, you know. So I like the fact that they're giving this guy the ability to do different things in Lightning, and removing the break zone's a really strong effect as we're learning as the game is, you know, getting to like break zone recursion being super relevant, and decks getting out of control because they can use that break zone as a toolbox.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, 4CP AK that can easily be cheated in with some other cards because of the 4CP. That's a crucial thing. You can play this in like Ice Lightning as well. You know, Al Cid come in, get Vanishing, and on top of the fact that like you'll get a couple triggers from the Al Cid, and or you'll get one trigger, sorry, because he's not Ice, he's Lightning. But yeah, being able to play this for like free, prefer. I would prefer to play this off of something else rather than just hard cast it.
Yeah, unless
But
you.
I mean, at the same time, I mean, it's still pretty good. Like, by the time you do play this card, it's obviously not early game, but it can be played fairly quickly. I don't think it should take too many turns to get off 20 or more cards banished in the game to do the character removed from the game thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that like if you can cheat them in, that's fantastic. But on its own, I still think it's pretty good. So I definitely think this is a good card.
Yeah, there's definitely, in my opinion, there's no wrong time to play this, right? Like at any point in the game, obviously not turn one. Sure, I can correct myself very easily.
Chill. Not turn one.
Not turn one. But what I mean to say is that like in the metas we live right now, where recursion is so relevant in every deck almost, is that like as early as turn 4 or 3 or something like that, playing him is fine. Sure, if your opponent decides to waste the Amat, that's fine, but you're threatening their way of life pretty much when you're removing all their characters, right? And with Mastery being gone, there isn't that much more importance for like summon recursion, right? Like, so this card just lives, worry free if it does what it does. If you're able to get rid of 10 cards somehow prior to this, he lives the Amaterasu. So I can see where the Earth Lightning thing comes into play, because you can remove things with Mist Dragon and stuff like that a turn before.
Yeah. What about this card though being mainly aggro focused, because it is removing your break zone as well too, right?
Well, which is what I'm saying, right? Like in Lightning, there's not much we didn't count on already, right? So being in Mono Lightning already just feels less like hurtful to myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
yeah,
I wouldn't play this with Avjong and Mejing because I can't recur my guys anymore, obviously, but that's a different deck, right? Like,
yeah, I kind of like this card. Yeah, I mean, this card could maybe go a couple different ways. Maybe it goes into Earth Lightning, and then you just, you're banishing things with Mist Dragon, and then at some point you just don't care about your break zone, and you slam him down, and he's gonna get his effect off because even if you've only banished like 10 things, the Mist Dragon did some of that stuff beforehand too. So, but yeah, I mean, you want to make sure obviously when you banish your break zone that you're not cucking yourself. So that's why I always think, well, you don't really care about that when you're playing like aggressive decks, because aggressive decks don't really care too much about recursion. It's more so like control decks that can care about that kind of stuff. So I mean, he can probably go a couple different ways. Maybe he gets more slots in aggro, and then in like control based he's a little bit less. More like another like maybe he's a tech piece. Maybe he's not like a 3 of in like
he's just I think he's I think he mostly sits as an anti-meta tech piece, but
yeah,
he is mandatory though. Like again, you could probably this would actually be one of, going back to if we had side deck, this is a side deck card, but realistically I think highly like tech piece in just about anything. Like let's talk about how do we bring him in, right? Because we can bring him in free with Cecil. We can bring him in with the new Xenos, right? I think we saw that Onion Knight for fun. We have Kirin, right? Any 4 costs. All of these ways are just easy ways to bring something like this in, and they're super threatening.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements that can benefit from this card for sure. That can like splash with it, yeah.
Okay, Medic, him and Ned down. Let's go, bro. Don't even give me all your board, please.
Ned, wait.
Neo, you can't
Ned,
actually, right? I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
I'm also sure. I don't even think that's that that good.
I mean,
I don't even,
no, you can't do that.
like Neo X Death, that card's not even good anymore.
I mean, if we're thinking title, right? Or didn't X Death get banned in title?
Net is X Death. I can't. Wait. Oh, lol, you can't do that because Neo X Death counts as X Death. I forgot.
That's why he was preemptively banned, because they saw this card is this information existed.
That's
All right,
funny.
guys. Well, this is a good card. We can move on.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Ixion. If you cast Ixion, you may pay an extra 3 CP, lightning, and 2 colors. Break all the forwards of cost 2 or less. If you paid an extra cost, break all the forwards of cost 3 or less. Okay. That's
I
cool.
think it's good.
Yo, three cost board clears? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we basically said, look, Exodus is power crept and unplayable, so we're gonna give you Ixion.
I mean, they just gave us Exodus again, and I don't think he's unplayable, but this is pretty good. I would have liked this when Avalanche was super meta, right? Like, I could play Shinryu and this shit. Like,
Yeah, this card's good. It's something that Lightning needs because, again, the whole active restriction on most Lightning summons is really annoying.
yeah,
And yeah, just being able to have some flexibility with, just having something cheap, like a cheap summon that can answer some really problematic cards early is really important. So it's a good, solid addition for Lightning for sure.
yep.
I feel like Andy's gonna say every Lightning card's 100 out of 10.
No, this one's 10 out of 10. This...
But it's a good card. I agree.
All right, let's see if he rates this one 10 out of 10. So
right.
Quan, choose a forward you control until the end of the turn. Against 2,000 power and haste, you can only use this ability if you control only one forward. Let's go. Here you go, bro. Here's your null haster. Here's all that hasting that you want to give everything haste to.
Okay, until the end of the turn. Oh, yo, shit! This is like a slightly better red mage.
Nah, he's kind of worse.
Because you can search it. You can search this, right? And it's any color.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Plus, it gives you a nice little boost.
Baboost.
Sarah goes to 10K. She's just swinging over.
Sarah goes.
Starting. Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't think it's like
10 out of 10.
amazing.
10 out of 10.
I think it's not bad.
Lightning's the best color in the format. 10 out of 10.
I mean, Lightning definitely needs a lot of help because it's been pretty it's just unfortunately hasn't gotten a lot.
I mean, these first 5 cards have been solid, I think, for Lightning altogether.
Ixion should have been named Odin. Yeah, true. Make that Odin package a little bit stronger for sure. What are we on now? Before we move on, I should just move on. Quan, do you like Quan?
Yeah, he's decent. He's not bad.
Yeah, I mean he's an upgraded red mage. The fact that it's a searchable backup too.
Right. Yeah, because there's a backup that searches Ahito Cadet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can search this guy and get him into your backup line pretty easily is very relevant.
Yeah, backup lines are very important. It's hard to not build with a specific backup line, right? Like if you're doing anything with water, you need Sarah into Princess Sarah. If you're doing before it used to be the 11 package, you play the Moogle with Star Sybil or whatever, and the other one, and then like even people do the Verena into Queen Goblin. Backup lines are very important. So this increases a backup line, so very good.
Yeah. Owie.
Oh, is it Owie or
I don't know.
can I get some phonetics on this one? Ooh.
Ooh or Owie. I don't know. Whatever. He's a samurai though.
So, do I have any FFBE / War of the Visions players in? Yeah, see, Quan was 10 and.
See? Play it. I will.
Do anybody play this? Is FFBE or is War of the Visions set in Ivalice? Because I have a theory here. All right, so during each turn, when O is chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities for the first time in that turn, cancel its effect. So it's okay. And when O enters the field, gain a crystal and New Moon Blade. S to lightning and colorless. Choose a forward of cost 5 or less. Break it. Gain a crystal. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is set in Ivalice, and isn't Ilua also set in Ivalice? So they're probably cousins because they have the same ability. Samurai and or the ability Ilua got was from this guy.
Hmm.
Just fun theory.
Um,
Solid card, I think, right? Also, we already know FFB is very strong this set. O is just an addition to all of that stuff. Being able to break forwards for what a crystal and 2 CP with Glaciella out, but in general, just pretty easy, like a pretty cheap S ability.
yeah.
And he's safe, right? We like cards that are self sufficient and they can protect themselves, right? Sure, he doesn't need haste for any reason, so it's okay. He'll live a turn and get stuff done.
Yeah, he's a bit stickier.
He's a bit stickier, right? Lua was great because she had haste and she had that sticky aspect, but this guy can do that just as well. Playing both will actually be very complicated for people, right? Like, oh great, now I have to over target your stuff, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to cheat this in, though, right?
no, he's.
You're not hard. You're not hard playing this. You gotta cheat this guy.
I mean,
in.
JG, I know the world you live in is just like free everything, but some, but some of us.
Well, I feel like the game is at a point where like you can't just be fucking playing 4 CP AKs that just don't do anything and go okay.
But he does do something. He gains you a crystal, and he's almost untargetable. He's Yu-Gi-Oh! Shyness. Yeah.
True. Too much Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just like, yo, you're gonna special summon this, right? And then it's a 1-card combo and you win? Yeah, okay. I don't know. I kind of just look at this card. I look at a 4 CP AK. A crystal doesn't really give you a card back into your hand, so it doesn't really help your card economy. And you're hoping that I mean, it does cancel an effect, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you still gotta play this off like Al Cid and then it's fine. Or like something else that plays 4 CPs, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
The list goes on. We have plenty of targets to do that for you.
Yeah, I think that's the way. I think that's the way, and it's a fine card.
Okay. Going back really quick, I want to acknowledge that TCG Titans is in the house. And yeah, the Quan ability, having 1 forward, isn't the best. But again, backup lines, right? What do you prefer, backup lines or, general hasting? I guess it really depends what's your pleasure.
TCG,
Sergio.
Why would you play the forward Quan though?
Why would we play? No. It says you have the Quan reads can only give haste when you have 1 forward.
Oh, okay. But does that matter?
I mean, then you'd never use this ability, right? If you're spamming stuff, it's just a backup line at that point.
Choose 1 forward until the end of the turn. You can only use this ability if you control 1 forward. I mean, you play a forward and then you use this.
And then you play the rest of your forwards.
Am I missing something here? What do you mean?
So let me reverse it for you. If you're in the middle of the game, right, and you have 2 forwards out, and you want to deploy a forward that needs haste, Quan cannot give it haste.
Oh, you literally can only play only 1 forward. Oh, true. Okay, it actually says 1 freaking forward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he was saying. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. But I mean, like,
still 10 out of 10. Still 10 out of 10.
That makes a good point with the Nolan Quan.
Fire Lightning using new Fire Samurai, Devout backup, cheat this guy in. Oh yeah, Devout, the new Fire Devout would bring him in. That'd be cool. Play 6 of Lewis. All right, the Man in Black.
If it's free, it's not for me. Yeah. Man in Black. Oh man, I remember this guy when he came out. He did nothing a long time ago. So let's see if he's better.
He's a hero, so let's hope so. I think the last one was a hero too, right?
He was a hero before too, and he just sat in my freaking box.
You cannot play Man in Black or card named Golbez while already in control of either character. When Man in Black enters the field or attacks, choose 1 summon in your break zone, remove from the game. you can cast it at any time you could normally cast it. I think that's better than the other one already, right?
Choose on summon. Yeah, because it doesn't restrict the summons to 3 or less. This is any summon.
It also doesn't restrict it to that turn, I believe. The old previous Man in Black had to be that turn, I think.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Yeah, so this is obviously an upgraded version. They're like, yeah, that old card really suits.
And lastly, when you cast a summon, choose up to one forward. It gains this forward cannot attack or block until the end of turn. So
that's not bad, man. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, a little more from everything.
Pretty cool. I mean,
so what are we holding on to here? Is this?
Well, wait, hold on a second. You still got to pay the CP for the card, right?
Yeah. I mean, but it's in reserve now. You have extra Amaterasu, for example, or extra, and color. Yeah, it doesn't remove the color specificity.
Oh, so you have to pay the appropriate color as well.
I mean, if it's in your deck, right?
True. Yeah, it makes sense. But you can't get crazy with like tech colors, So you're not like, I'll just throw this summon.
I mean, if your deck already does that, then you already have the color fixers anyway. So I don't really I'm not worried about that, right? Too much.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. I mean, it's okay.
And
then the fact that you save 2 CP, I guess that's it, because you just get to like set it aside for later
when you need it. Yeah, keep one in the barrel always, which is nice, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the extra value of something can't attack or block on that turn seems fine.
I think that's why it's 5 CP is because they added that extra line. But I kind of wish that they just didn't add that line and just reduced the summon cost. I would prefer that over just choosing a forward and be like, you can't attack or block. I don't really care about that. I'd rather just be able to play something a little bit more just a bit cheaper, right?
Yeah,
a discounted summon chilling off to the side.
Yeah, look, going to chat here. Sire, yeah, no color, not restricted to lightning summons. Titans, thank you for confirming that it's in Lapis and not Ivalice. Still, somehow there's a world where El and Ilua share some kind of ancestry. And Pocket Raiden is very good when you have Ramu or Sakura's and stuff. That's also very cool. Yeah, and then again, generally having something pocketed like Lani did, we like that ability about Lani, right? And being able to hold on to the card when I need it. Same thing like Zidane, right? We like those effects. It just gives us an extra one of whatever that is, right? So I think he's good in general. And then the can attack or block is just a little added, right? Let's say for whatever reason I do just grab something that lets me draw a card, right? I can cast it, and now that guy's not going to attack this turn. Your Squall is not going to attack this turn and swing for 4k, right? Or, I'm going to, anything like that. Just kind of saves us a little bit more. It gives us a little more wiggle room in terms of whether I'm either trying to save myself or remove obstacles. So I think there's a lot of potential there with that card. It's definitely a big upgrade and better than the last one. So let's just burn every copy of the last one that we had.
Okay.
All right. Cool. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Oh, man. If Jordan was here, he'd be like, oh, all the purple cards are 0 out of 10.
All the purple cards would be 10 out of 10, Jordan?
Yeah, it's a little joke I've always had because I've always played purple, and he would always chirp me for playing purple cards and be like, "Yeah, why do you keep playing such shit cards?"
Oh shit!
Because I get frustrated that I lose, and he just that was just always a little funny chirp, but it's just all in fun.
Shout out to JD wherever you are, bro. Love you, man.
So right. What are we on now? Yugiri?
Yugiri, yeah. Yugiri enters the field. You may search for job ninja or card name ninja other than card name Yugiri and add it to your hand. Discard a total of 2 job ninja or card name ninjas. You choose a 4 to 4. Let's break it. That's pretty cool. What do you think?
3 CPX. I mean 3 CPX. I mean they made it 3 CP because of the EX. I assume.
I think the backup, the ninja backup is also EX burst, right, guys? The Marini.
I mean, it's cool. It's got some multiple lines. Obviously, this is a ninja deck card. You're giving ninjas an EX burst. You're giving it the ability to tutor stuff, search for specific pieces. And then the fact that it has like an extra line where like, oh, maybe you have some useless cards that you want to ditch and just kill something. I mean, it's cool.
I
But I
mean,
mean, it is a 3 CP 5K, and I mean, the new standard is 2 CP 5K.
well, it's
right?
it's
So
technically a one, right? If because you get a card back.
well, I mean, but like most cards that are like really good in this game right now are just like they're cheaper, right? They're just like quote unquote free, but not really free. They're 0 CP.
They're
right?
0 CP, right?
So,
So being
you know,
1 CP is not good
can be
enough for
slapped out a
JG.
lot easier. So, I mean, it probably goes in a ninja deck, and it's probably fine for giving the deck the ability to be a bit more consistent because it's searching for specific pieces.
Right.
But,
Yeah, and I think that's the important part too, right? That we're saying. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's
So
about it, though.
10 out of 10 naturally. Damn, these lightning cards. These fucking lightning cards, fucking stackers, bro. Like, what do you kids say? Poggers? All of these, right?
Poggers, PogChamp.
Catching up with chat here.
We're not going to do that.
Oh yeah. Going back to Man in Black, it's also when he attacks. Might have missed that part, but yeah. Enters the field or attacks, he can pocket a summon. So double value. Yeah.
Cool. So a bit more of an expensive Zidane. Something that can get out of control if it's not dealt with. That's kind of cool.
Lots
I
of
those kinds of effects, those things that's like, hey, deal with me, or I'm gonna start winning the game.
Andy's hilarious, bro. RFG Bahamut 0 and have you scared for the rest of the game. Yeah, tell that to my Bismarck, bro.
All right, we're on Quadiv, this giant chicken.
Yo,
what is this? An alligator? A reptile?
It's turtle people, I believe.
Ah, turtle man.
Turtle man, Quadav.
Haste mid with Quan, pocket 2 summon.
This guy, bro. The lines. Bro, I love you, chat. This is why we're here, by the way. To talk about these lines, to come up with these ideas. So I'm glad you're here for it.
True.
And I'm glad
That way I don't have to do it on my own.
We're all
I
involved.
With half of this stuff.
We can stick it to, what is it? What do you guys call it? Team Flat Earth? If we put our minds together.
Team Flat Earth?
Oh, GG.
Oh.
Well, anyway, Quadav. So when Quadav enters the field, your opponent selects one forward of cost 2 or less. They control, put it into the break zone. Oof, take that. And for, what is it? Man, this card is so small and like not HD. Put Quadav into your break zone, choose a forward your opponent controls, your opponent puts it to the top of its owner's deck. Okay, top or bottom of its owner's deck. Oh, so my opponent gets to choose whether it goes back to the top or the bottom on that second part?
This is kind of cool with Realm.
Yeah.
This is a cool 1 CP monster, like to grab.
Yeah.
Like outside of like Skeleton, like you said, was like kind of like one of the better ones to choose. Now you have a water one that's like kind of decent, and I think it's kind of important to focus on the fact that it's saying put into the break zone. So that's like a cool line of text that like non-targeting is kind of good.
That's a 3 after the water CP? Yeah, it's hard to tell. So that's 5 CP to do the second effect. That's crazy. And it gives my opponent the option where to put it to, right? So it's okay. It's not the worst card, I guess. But yeah, for a realm target, it's very nice. More 2-cost hate in general, like we were talking about, is going to be relevant.
Yeah.
So so Ice got one this set. Water got one this set. I think we saw another one earlier, right? I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong. So far, it's only Ice and Water that got 2-drop killers. But I think we have some more already. So Lightning has some and stuff. So that's not bad, I guess. It's just another one for the books. Play Chilenka and Haste Man for 3 pockets. So many pockets. That's a 3 after the water. And new art for the 11 characters are absolutely delightful. Yep. I'm glad they upgraded them, right? Because we're tired of seeing those screenshots.
Yeah, they're getting better. I mean, that just comes with the fact that the game is doing well. The game keeps doing well. They'll keep pumping out, better looking cards. But to be fair, like Final Fantasy in general has just really nice artwork to begin with that they can just grab. So there doesn't need to be too much original art, but they just gotta stop grabbing the frickin' sprites. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's more like they want to just like save it. They know that they are like, maybe they're just thinking ahead and they're always just like, well, we can't give like every set like 10 out of 10 art. even if the card freaking sucks. Like, we gotta hold back a bit, you know.
All right, boys. This is it. This is what we're here for. Glaciella Wesette. Have you read this card, JG?
No, but she looks like everyone's new favorite waifu.
Please go ahead, because this is my.
Man, this card on my page freaking zooms, man.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit,
HD,
I can
bro.
see checkers on her skirt. What the?
This is
Alright.
HD, bro. This is what we need.
All right, 3 CP. Oh my goodness.
Just read it
she's
first.
a Valkyrie from Final Fantasy Brave Exvia. You can pay with 1 crystal instead of the S. Okay, cool. When paying for the special abilities of FFBE characters you control. When she enters the field, gain a crystal. Okay, so instantly this card can start doing stuff.
Right away.
With specials. Choose 1 forward, deal 2,000 for each character you control. Okay, so you basically pay 5 CP to like nuke something, and then the rest of your guys can just get going with special abilities and just pay the additional cost, but they don't need to have the character in hand. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Man, I gotta go run and get something really quick. But keep reading, keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can read. That's all there is to the card. But I don't know a lot about the BE cards. So, chat, can you guys tell me, like, the BEs that we're sitting here saying, holy shit, like, because obviously you want to play specials that don't have additional costs attached to them, right? You just want to be like, whatever, I'm just going to use a crystal and use this dude's ability, and I'm just going to pop off now.
Yeah, we're here for
Rain, okay, so Rain, oh, the Rain specials. Oh my god, you got 4 foils? Why do you have 4?
I may or may not have bought out TCG players foils.
Oh my god, you're hilarious. So you're gonna send me 2 non-foils, right?
I'll see you. Yeah.
You got some non-foils, bro? Because that sounds pretty cool. I'm actually like, that's actually kind of sick. That like I can just use crystals, haste the field, use another crystal.
It's not even.
Attacking.
It's not even so much haste the field, right? Did you forget Undermine? Reduce everybody by 4K.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's really cool. And then because we're in water, we can play like Beatrice and reduce that range to 1 and get going. We get huge, and then everybody gets we get attacking like right away.
We get huge. Yeah. So every FFBE that we read earlier, by the way, the Durando, the Wazette guy, not really. But I think there's what other one? There's a few more that we're about to get into right now.
My Solace, the special bullet,
Yeah. So this card is absolutely nuts. It already had some pretty decent cards, right, with the Physalis and the Rain, but all the stuff that they added to it just gives it so much more potential. This card is going to be the biggest card of the set. I think everyone can agree there will be a Glaciella meta in addition to whatever else is running around, and I'm here for it. Like, I will 100% be playing this. Like,
it's a cool card, man. I like the art too. I'm down to get 3 copies of this, but I'm a non-foil gamer now, so I'm just gonna get my non-foil set. And
it's water. It's water, so we need it. We need it like we need it foil. I love Andy's lines. It's not a miniskirt. It's a sawed-off shotgun, and it's aimed at him. Yeah, Rain special for 2. Light Rain. Oh, Durando, Conchira. Yeah, Conchira's another one. Physalis, Mont. Yep. Oh yeah, the Earth Mont was another very nice one that a lot of people didn't see right away, I guess, when it came out. I don't know if you remember the Earth Mont. When he attacks, you can literally just S and deal 9k to 2 forwards. So as long as you have like enough crystals, he could just shoot everywhere.
Okay. Well, what? Let's talk about like what with this card. Are we thinking like ice water is the home for this card?
Nah, there's so many possibilities. You could even do mono water because you could just slap the Rains in there with like half knights or whatever, and just search everything else you need. There's the water. There's the ice earth, ice water, ice lightning a little bit. There's a few FFB stuff in there. The wind searcher. It doesn't matter, dude. Like as long as it's really just a crystal deck that you're playing now. And I don't think we're not even on Urgelberg yet, and he just generates more crystals. And do you want to see the new Steiner? Can we just skip to the new Steiner, or do you want to wait till we get there?
There's a new Steiner. What the?
Oh, not a new Steiner. Sorry. What's man? I always blank on his dumb name.
Yeah, this card's really cool. I'm excited to get my hands on it. This is a neat card.
Good.
Yeah, silver hair waifu. I'm down.
Let's wait there. Corilla. If you control a water.
Gorilla.
Yeah, no, this one's weak. We're gonna skip this one because it's garbage. If you if you control a water forward other than
Yeah.
Stern, thank you, Warsaw. Damn it, I always forget Stern. The new Stern, not Steiner.
So yeah, Gorilla's just a generic piece of poop.
Yeah, generic piece of poop. We'll move on. She's a knight, sure. Maybe sees play. I don't know.
Nah, definitely not. Seems really garbage.
I mean, she can be one cost with Beatrix, but whatever.
I mean, a lot of things can be one cost. I mean, it's just a beat stick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
It's Stern, not Steiner.
Yeah.
So these guys, so these Marquise de Fantasme, I'm very big on these. I don't know why I want to read it in French, but they're dual horn and ninja. So your opponent forwards enters. This is the best part. Your opponent's forwards enter the field dual. Very good, very good. If you can for a 3 cost, remember what was it? Cloud of Darkness, I believe was the last one that did that.
For 5.
For 5, yeah, and almost no other value, I think. If you control card name Elise de Ensorcelled, Marquise de Fantasme gains 2,000 power, and when Marquise enters the field, choose a dual horn in your break zone. You may pay X. If its cost is X, play it onto the field. So bring in forwards from the break zone. We like that.
This is neat. I kind of think that's cool. Like, yeah, you're for 3 CP, your opponent's bringing in their dudes all sideways.
And
That's
she
kinda cool.
and he goes with this Elise, which is also dual horn. I'm hoping dual horns is going to be the next soiree. That's my suspicion for this set, by the way, guys. I think the dual horns will be the job, whatever that we get that is good for new players to jump into and could be playable. So I'm for it because they're water based, or at least these two are. And FFTA 2 is kind of like all over the place, so it could kind of go in any direction. But yeah, Elise in whatever enters the field duel, she does not activate during the active phase. If you can name Marquise de Phantasm, she gains 2,000 power. When she attacks, your opponent selects a forward they control and puts it in the break zone. So gets over, can't be targeted and cannot be broken. Ways to activate this. We play it. I'm thinking Water Lightning, right? Because Ilua. I'm thinking Ash as well. Just activates her on battle step. I'm thinking what else, JG? What do we?
So because she's a summoner, can we just like toss a BFA and kill something for 10k?
I mean, yeah, Yuna's also water, right? We could put summoners out here some other way. Garnet, whatever you want, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's some cool stuff. I mean, like the fact that it has job summoner is a really key thing, I think, with this card. And it pairs with Marquise, right? So we're playing these two together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like this mechanic of just kind of like it's another way. It's interesting to have water do this kind of stuff. This feels like kind of like ice stuff, like kind of like a pseudo tax of and like slowing down your opponent. So I kind of like it how water's doing it. And I think the job summoner is cool because it enables some other things that synergize with summoner. So,
Right.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't think this is bad at all. I think it's pretty neat.
My chat seems to disagree that this would be only a 2-card set. Even if it is a 2-card set, On The Draw Games is rating today with a party of 4. Thanks, bro. So you went back to stream and now you're bringing them over here. Shoutouts to Gabe, everybody. If you don't know Gabe, if you're not following On The Draw Games, go check him out. He's always playing card games. If you like Pokemon or any of the other ones or anything else, he's about it. So shoutouts to him and welcome to everyone in chat. We are covering Final Fantasy, the trading card game spoilers, coming up this next set in August. All right.
So what was the comment that you just made? You said 2-card set. What did you say?
No. So going to chat, TCG Titan says this is a 2-card set, which means we're only getting Marquise and Elise. And what I was gonna say is that even if that's the case, it's not to say that we won't get more down the road.
Yeah, I mean that kind of reminds me of like Sword Saints. It's all Prime
Whoa!
Let's. I was like, yo, Prime Milda, that's kind of a cool card.
Ready Check Radio, thanks for the follow, bud.
Copium, and then it never happened.
I mean, sure. I'm gonna be optimistic though. I'm gonna be optimistic though and say let's not let this be another Sword Saints.
Yeah.
I haven't done the footwork and looked at FF Final Fantasy Wiki and see what the dual horns look like. But I'm sure there'll be more, and they're not just gonna leave these the difference between the Sword Saints and this is that these are full arts, and they're not gonna let all of their full arts go to waste. So, 2CP Luso is best card for these. Engage S with Luso, yeah, 100%. Luso is gonna be very useful for these, and nothing but value if we hit that special. Which special are we talking about, mate? Are you talking about Elite Special? Welcome again, everyone who just jumped in and on the draw games. Hope you guys are ready for some Final Fantasy card games.
Oh, we got 3 cards left, and then we're done. Let's go.
Yeah, we're almost done for the night, but these are the big ones. Well, Ramada's pretty good. So, Lancer, FFBE. When Ramada enters the field, choose a forward your opponent controls, return it to his owner hand, and gain a crystal. S. Until the end of the turn, Ramada gains 2,000 power haste, and if Ramada deals damage to your opponent, that damage becomes 2 instead.
Neat.
So
Okay.
So going with Glaciella too, right? She's gonna send something back, gain a crystal. If Glaciella's out, she's gonna get haste and then deal the damage, right? JG, like this.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I mean, I'm always like a big fan of like cards though that like impact my opponent's board rather than like damage. Like pushing 2 damage is like, you know, it's good. But like I'm also I would love it if that like the fact that it doesn't touch something on my opponent's board though makes me a little like kind of like with the card, because we know that like everybody's playing decks now. Everyone's deck has cards in it, at least if you're playing good deck, has cards in it that you need to answer fairly quickly or your opponent starts taking control of the game.
Yeah.
And so because this card's too good at dealing damage and that's about it, I mean, your opponent in some ways could just be like, yeah, sure, hit me for 2. I still got my full grip and my boss monster's on board, so my turn, and then.
Oh, and I hit Tyro and Thornton in EX in those 2 damage, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I understand like this card's supposed to pair with Glaciella, but there's definitely better options.
Sure, but it's not a bad card to say the least. Gonna go back for my fans here. So yeah, the Luso EX Burst. When Luso enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add a category FFTA2 character among them to your hand, and then return the other cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. And then engage S, reveal the top 5 cards. Play a category FFTA2 character among them onto the field, and return other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Yeah, so this Luso is gonna be a great way to like find them and play the dual horns. Again,
Okay.
If we get any more, that deck just gets even better.
Yeah, art's kind of cool on the dual horns too. I like that art.
Yeah,
It's neat.
I'm looking for 3 of each. Full art.
Oh
All right,
my
guys.
goodness gracious.
This is the new Stern. I'm gonna let you read this one because JG, I don't think you know, and I think
Okay, so this is reprints. This is like
Light
debuff
Stern.
Stern, right?
Light
Debuff
Stern. Light Stern.
Okay, so when Engelbear enters the field, gain 2 crystals. Okay, it's forced to be a can. Choose 1 forward. It gains, if this forward is dealt damage by your opponent's abilities, the damage becomes 0 until the end of the turn.
Seems good or no?
I don't know how I feel about this because it's a light card.
Okay,
I mean,
Stern was a dark
like
card.
my first impression of this is just like, okay, again, it doesn't do anything to my opponent's board, and it's a light card.
Okay.
So I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. What, like, is everyone going crazy over this? Is everyone
mean-
like, oh my god, this card's freaking broken. Like,
Yeah.
it's the
So
new Stern.
nah, that's just me, I think. But nah, as far as calling him the new Stern, it's probably just me. But maybe a few others. Yeah. See, but he is very good. As long as you're never gonna hard cast him, right? So you should generally have a crystal with him, which means he's gonna survive for a long time. Which means he's gonna make your other stuff survive for an even longer time. Which means things are gonna be stickier. Which means we have more problems to deal with, right? And as Warsaw was pointing out just a little bit, there's no crystal hate yet. Like, oh, I summon this, remove all your opponent's crystals. And so like crystals are just free resources that cannot be challenged, right? So things like this is just, I don't know, it seems very, very fun. What is everyone's thoughts? Ready Check Radio says double crystals on entry with Glaciella is fun too. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, because no one plays wind cards, he's safe from Typhon, so I guess he's okay.
Sure, Typhon.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm going to say it again. You definitely want to play this guy. You want to cheat this guy in. And then I guess he could be like a bit of an annoying card because, yeah, you could just reduce the damage and he can, and things like you said, stay on the board longer. But the light spots, like light and dark spots, are always like really highly contested spots. And, like,
you're right.
Is this really something that you prioritize over other light and dark cards?
I mean, it depends.
Marcherie's gone, but I mean that new lightning just seems like it does more things than this card, right?
Which one? Which one did you say? Sorry.
The new lightning, like wouldn't you want to play something like that or like a Citra over something like this?
Nah. Again, this is purely in a crystal deck, right? So the Citra doesn't bother me so much, and the lightning I can see it, but I still personally opt in for Engelbert. Yeah, the next Maria is also probably going to contest with it, right? Because, and I mean, even the Rains, right? I was just talking about him. Like, if I'm playing Triple Rain, I might not be playing this guy, but I don't know. I think I have to find a way to play multiple light cards, right? There's, I'll do whatever it takes, but I think he's a very strong card, and I am not going to underestimate this guy. Ready Check says, yeah, 100% promise that he's the light, and his slight taken into competitive decks still, yeah. I mean, I'm just not playing Kadaj anymore, right? Like, it's light or dark for me, right? What's your go-to light or dark right now, JG? Like in most decks?
I mean, it depends on the deck, I think, but I mean, it's always been Kadaj for a long time, just because of the style of decks I was playing before.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like your light and dark slot just changes as the meta kind of shifts a bit. So I'm really liking that lightning card a lot.
Yeah, she's really good.
I really think that that's a card that people need to maybe weren't super hyped on when they first saw it spoiled and stuff. But I always looked at it and I was like, the card's pretty cool. Can do a lot of things and can like really control the board. Every turn, like turn you sideways. Okay, and then on my turn, I'm gonna turn you sideways again, and then return something, and then replay something.
Yep.
A lot of cool things.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand recently. So shout outs to Brandon for wrecking me with that lightning.
I think Kadaj is still really good, and cards like Citra are really good. And obviously Marcherie was like the go-to for a lot of people until it just got banned, and same with Stern. But now those cards don't exist. So maybe this could maybe in a very specific deck, like, yeah, you're really focusing on Galacia or whatever her name is, and you really want to just spam crystals quickly, because, I mean, other than this, it's like backups, and like maybe there's some other forwards out there that can get you some crystals, but the crystal options are still not, like, generating crystals are not super easy, so this is like pretty, like if you play this guy for free, and you just give yourself 2 extra crystals with, the water legend. I mean, I could see it. It has potential. I just think that I would prefer something else. I feel like maybe like this might not even be needed. I think Kadaj is still like a really good card. And I like the new lightning a lot right now. If I was gonna pick like my light and darks, I'd say those 2 right now. And if I'm not playing, or depending on my deck, I would probably go back to something, or I still I like Citra, just because I think, EX Burst, pretty cheap, versatile things that it can bring back. Yeah, those would be like the 3 ones that I think about, but yeah, I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, again, I'm really sold on this card in general. I think Crystals, I knew Crystals was going to get better every set, and this set is, I think, the pinnacle of it, right? Because next set, we know they're kind of going back to double colored cards, right? And if we scroll down a little bit, you can kind of just see that from the pictures, right? I don't know if they're going to add like double crystals and dual color cards in Opus 18 in November, but for now we have to deal with all the crystal stuff that we have now, right? So they wanted it to make a big deal. I think Engelbert's going to like help sustain that meta or that mentality that they wanted. And as far as my light and dark choices, it's usually Noctis or Kadaj. and I don't know. I don't really play Citra too much anymore, honestly, and I haven't dabbled too much with the new Lightning.
Oh, Noctis, yeah, I completely forgot about that card. That card's really awesome, really good card.
And so like I don't know. I'm not really like worried about it, honestly, man. Like I think he's gonna be a fantastic card. Like yeah,
I
no.
think Chuck's saying some good things, like,
Well,
if you need
Shinryu.
those friggin' crystals like crazy. I mean, I even like some of the legends that they printed, light legends, like that 2 CP Warrior of Light's also like a very cool spot that could go into some decks. Not many people have been playing it, or anybody's playing it, but I look at that 2 CP Warrior of Light as like a very good generic card to like protect yourself from like your board just getting dismantled completely. I feel like that card could be like potentially still very good, even though it hasn't been really played. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of options now in the last couple of sets with like the light and dark slot.
There's also
And I think
Shinryu.
it's just really gonna come down to like what the meta is gonna be like, I guess.
Yeah, and of course that's gonna matter, but it's also now Shinryu might take a like he has more competition too. So between the Lightning, Shinryu,
I think like the new Lightning though is fantastic.
and there's also this Maria too, right? Which we like. Like, have you read the Maria yet?
No, I haven't read her. She a card of the week.
Yeah, she was like one of the first ones, I think, right? Yeah. So the forwards of cost 2 or less, other than Maria, you control gain 2,000 power. When Maria enters the field, choose a backup you control. Activate it. It loses all its abilities and becomes a forward with 8,000 power. This effect does not end at the end of the turn. So
Control gain 2.
Go ahead, read it, because.
Oh yeah, I just poured to changes the field.
So medic, yeah, I personally haven't played the new Lightning, but it's been used against me, so I know it's good. Like I can see the value in it. Warsaw, yes. If something requires 7 crystals to do something game winning, does an auto include? Okay, I mean, I hope we see something like that down the road. I don't think that'll happen this set. And you're using crystals to cast S abilities. The natural progression of crystals gaining is fine currently. I think it's better than fine now. It's a lot better than it started. And I think this set's gonna prove how annoying it's gonna be to get crystals actually.
So this card's like gonna be good for those backups that like you play them and they don't activate, and then you just cheat them in or something. Is that like what this gimmick is with this card?
What's up? What?
So this card, like, the forwards of 2 or less, other than her, get bigger, which is cool.
Yeah.
But basically those backups that don't activate, right? Like they come out, they do like a cool effect, but their drawback is they don't activate. So I'm assuming that's the point of this card. Is like cards like Reeve or like
not
Theseus.
Well,
Reeve use those, and then you do something with this to bring them out, and then you're not that drawback is no longer a drawback.
Yes, also, but in addition, it's just that's one way to look at it. Yes. Like, well, remember, they do lose their abilities, right? So, stuff like Reeve would be useful. Yes, I did talk about that one. But really, it's just like, for me, it's going back to freeing up your backup slots. If that forward dies, it's useful, right? But at the same time, that forward can block and then tap for CP and generate, like, for a summon. Do you know what I mean? It's still a backup and a forward.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. And then I guess if like he brought out like Rampir as an AK forward, and then Rampir blocks and dies.
No, because it would lose its abilities. It goes into the break zone blanked, so that wouldn't work actually.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting like it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
Graveyard.
Yeah, if things are blanked, they're blanked till.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, no. In general, it's like the biggest thing. It's my thing for this Maria was it brings jobs into play or categories, right? So going back to the Hien, for example, somebody on my YouTube mentioned this. Like, if you need more 14 characters to, I think he said activate or something, right? Like, let me go read the Hien again. Activate all 14 forwards that you control, right? So if you have a 14 backup, Maria can bring it into play, and it becomes a forward that can attack twice now. So there's things like that. it helps with numbers when it's specific to forwards. It also frees up the backup technically, and you can make a 2-drop backup a 10k now while she's out. So it has a lot of purposes.
Okay. I guess the question is it better than the other light or dark cards, though?
Gabe's not sure if he likes this Maria. I mean, I think when you see it in action, you might be more. It makes another potential attacker or a blocker. Yeah, and so as long as that backup has been there from the beginning of the turn, it can attack this turn as well, right? So if your opponent's not counting on you having an extra forward somehow, like Maria brings that into play also, right? So
she has literally a gold plate covering her boob. Like, that's it. Like, she's
Yep.
basically like naked.
Yep.
Oh no, she's got like clothes on one half.
I mean,
yeah, one side is literally just a cup just covering. Hilarious.
that's what JG's wanted.
I was like,
The
holy
gold
shit.
plate on her
I'm
boob.
like,
JG, come on, bro.
I'm thinking about your stream, man. Maybe you get banned for this.
I'm gonna get banned for Maria's gold plate. There's no nip, bro.
Maybe you get banned, man. I'm just trying to look out for you, man.
There's no nip. There's no nip. It's all good.
I mean,
There's
okay.
There's
It's
under
cool.
boob.
I don't know. I guess maybe my brain isn't like thinking too creatively about this card as much as you. Like, maybe you've thought more about this and have figured out more things that this could be good.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about it. I don't think I can. I don't think it. It doesn't seem too great in my opinion.
That's all she can offer. COVID's been rough on all of us. Yeah, that's true too. We don't have the well, the dark actually was revealed, but it wasn't translated, right, or something, or it was translated, but it's not here, right? Like same thing with the Afmal and the Adele. There's a few cards that are also out that are not here because the English versions aren't printed yet, or like
okay.
So I don't want to get into those because I know they're pretty good cards, but still.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like a good card. I don't know. I think it is cool to be able to use your backups and turn them into forwards.
Sire,
but
do
you
think that'll work?
I look at this card and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't. I mean, it depends on what deck it goes in, but I'm always kind of skeptical of like cards that just like don't really do anything to my opponent's board. Like, okay, we're gonna play more beat sticks. Okay. I guess the coolest thing about doing that is like, yes, it frees up the backup line, and then you can play another backup. So I guess that's kind of cool. That like your backup line can be manipulated a bit easier with a 2 CP forward.
I think it has to die first before it, because it's still a backup, right? Like it's also a forward.
Oh, so it doesn't free up the slot. You still are. If you're at 5, you're stuck at 5.
Yeah. But like I said,
until it dies. Right?
Yeah, but it could still generate CP too, right? So it's like that's what I was saying. So it's a 10k. If it's a 2-drop backup, it's a 10k attacker / blocker, right? But it's not tied to Maria anymore either, and it's like if it dies, then yes, now I can play whatever again, or something else. Andy says we get a spot at World if our 7th point of damage is backup Invoker.
People are gonna just put fucking Evokers in their deck with this card just for the memes, to be like, lol, I just beat you with Evoker. That's actually kind of funny. Evoker can do some damage. 10k Evoker, let's go.
I mean, I love it.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, cool card. I don't know how good it's going to be competitively. It doesn't seem like it's a very good competitive
It's
card.
Warrior and Rebel, too. So many things. Searchable.
Search it, yeah. I guess those are two
Guy plays it. So many things, man. Your 2-cost backup is 10k.
Your brain, you're a very creative guy. You can figure these things out faster than I can. So
I already reviewed this one though, so I have a leg up on you.
Fair. So you cheated. I got it.
Classic me.
But yeah, guys. YouTubers, you're biased on every card. Every card's amazing.
I think that's gonna wrap us up here so far. These are the full arts so far. It's only half of them have been revealed. I think there's like 18, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Some cool full arts, man.
We don't have the Turks yet, which is the only one that hasn't been revealed out of these sample cards. So okay. I'm hoping for Turks to come in soon. And then the Opus 18 stuff is cool. We're not going to really talk about it, but I'm excited for these two right here, the Reijin and Fujin. and then the Sephiroth looks tight. This is all the
A lot
start.
of these cards are looking cool. I'm down for this set.
Yeah, this
Whoa.
bottom stuff is the starter stuff too, so it's exciting.
Oh my god, we get an Aranea? Let's freaking go.
You get this guy again too. All of these nerds.
Wait. Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know this was this is another opus after. So this will be off season stuff.
Yeah, this is a 17.5, I guess.
Yeah, this will be off season, eh? I'm down for this category 15. Once again, if you want to make an archetype good, put them in wind. Sounds good.
I mean, that's exactly what they're doing right here.
Yeah. 13 gets to go into wind, and then we'll put 15 in wind.
Yep.
And then there you go. When in doubt, make them a wind card.
Make them Wind Earth. What the hell is this? Titan?
Very good.
Oh, okay, it's Titan. And then which one's this one, guys? Is this... What summon is this?
That might be Titan from Final Fantasy 15. That might be
No.
like a first ever Final Fantasy 15 summon.
This is Titan.
The Earth one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about the lightning one. Glauca?
The lightning one? Let me look at it.
Oh, he says it's Glauca. I guess. I see it.
Yeah, that's definitely Glauca.
I see it. So it's not a summon.
I hate that asshole.
So look, based on the... there's no...
This set looks great.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up, man. JG, thanks so much for tuning in with me and going over these.
My pleasure, man.
If anybody wants to catch the VOD, I'll probably put it up on YouTube after... That's Ultron.
Sure.
Guys,
it's cool. I'm down. It's cool.
JG, final thoughts. What was your favorite, one we saw out of all of the stuff today?
I mean, it's tough because at first I was like, yo, Sarah, I'm down for that.
Okay.
But the Glacelia, yeah. She's pretty cool.
Oh, we didn't even do this one,
very,
actually.
Very cool card. I didn't even know this card existed until we read it today together. So, I mean, if I were to pick, I'll go with because I'm a simp for Final Fantasy 13. It'll be Sarah. But the Glacelia card, my God, I can't speak, is really cool along with X-Death. But yeah, I can't pick a favorite. But those are the cards that I thought were really neat.
I actually forgot we haven't even gone over this Edgar.
Edgar?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in chat, I guess, real quick. Because I don't want to mess with, the Discord, so...
Oh my god. Yoshitaka, a mono art too?
Yeah. So, Edgar enters the field. Choose up to 2 Category 6 forwards other than Edgar in your break zone and add them to your hand. For 0 CP, choose a Category 6 forward of cost 3 or more you control. The next time you use its special ability this turn, you can do so without paying S. You can only use this ability during your turn and only once per turn.
That's a pretty good card.
Yeah, I think the problem that everyone's coming into is that there's not that many decent ones, options. So if we look for Cat 6 with special,
you're playing basically 4 CP Celeste and maybe 3 CP Lock. Right?
Yeah,
better special.
Yeah, I think Celeste is the best one, right? Because of the runic blade or whatever.
Shadow's pretty good too.
10k, right? 10k damage.
Yeah, Shadow's not bad.
Mirage Dive.
You're gonna play that Shadow to give your dudes haste. Right,
Yeah.
With Interceptor.
Yeah, Mirage Dive is cannot be blocked, right? So it just.
I think this is fine. I like it.
It means you don't have to pay the S, right, guys? But you still have to pay the other CP, right? Like the other ice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean the Celeste cancel was something that I thought about right away about the 4 CP Celeste. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
And I agree. That was actually where I went to it first.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty sick, man. Just cancel it.
Yep.
One ice, cool.
Yeah, see you later, nerd.
See you later. Yeah.
Apparently, that's my catchphrase at locals.
What?
That's the catchphrase. That's one of my catchphrases.
At local?
Yeah.
That's good, man. It's a good one. I like it. I think it's a good card. What's the other Fire Legend? That's both Fire Legends.
Hien, right? Yeah, Hien. It's Hien and him.
Hien. Well, I think they're both good cards. I don't know a lot about samurais though, and usually effects that require you to attack, I'm not always a huge fan of. To like get their abilities per se. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to just see this card in action before I can actually say how good Kian is compared to. Because I look at Edgar and I'm just like, yeah, you play this dude, get back. He's cheap on entry, and then he makes all your other category 6, like their abilities super cheap, and their abilities are pretty good when you don't have to have.
Yeah, so
freaking
so you have to
confident
so
lock
the so the thing is you have to have the Celes out first, right? So he doesn't get a modded and like everything else, and then Celeste just says, "All right, bro, I wish you would."
Yeah, I mean, that's like so you can play cards like Salteus, and like I feel like cards like Salteus and Fire Ice seems fine.
Yeah. Fire Ice 6 has always been a thing, and I'm glad. And this
Yeah,
card does helps it very much. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like it. I think Final Fantasy 6 can need some love, other than just like the HCP lock that doesn't play in a Final Fantasy 6 deck.
I think this is a perfect way to end this stream here. So this was yesterday's card of the week, and Kageyama will be here next week with the final Rebellion's Call card of the week. The hint
Cool.
is a character you'll be seeing quite often very soon. Chat, I need everyone, or I would like everyone to put in your best guess right now.
Very soon, quite often. Holy shit, Zap.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I'm going to say
because isn't Crisis Core being remade this year?
yes, it is, and then we're gonna get more 7 stuff. I'm gonna say I guess it's Golbez, right, from Paradise, Strangers to Paradise. The guy, what's his name?
Wait, what?
The Strangers to Paradise game.
Garland?
Is it Garland?
Jack becomes Garland.
Yeah. Okay, so Jack. I'm gonna say Jack. It might be too soon for this, but I'll take that'll be my guess. All right, we have
that the DLC is coming out, right?
Yeah.
Where like the Warrior of Light, the DLC and Bahamut.
that shit looks awesome, by the way.
It does look cool.
right.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't caring about Strangers of Paradise, but that does look pretty sweet.
So we have one guess for Vincent Turk. Come on, I know you guys are there. Warsaw, Titans, Ragnarok, Sire. Give me your best guess for this, guys.
So Medic, Vincent Turk, or Jack?
No, he's yeah. I was saying Jack. He was questioning my Jack. Yeah.
Because I wasn't gonna say anything from Final Fantasy 16 because that's not very soon. That's next year. So that's why I was thinking and something from Crisis Core.
Okay, so Zach's a good one. I think. Who else are we gonna see very soon? Or is that just because he's gonna show it next week?
Yeah, I mean, imagine. Something you'll see often because it's a broken ass card and I'm revealing it next week.
Damn.
Yeah. Come on, chat. Give us something for God's sakes.
Ah, they're falling asleep. It's late, man.
It's not that late. Come on now.
Ready?
Oh yeah, it's midnight. Okay,
ready?
it's
Check
midnight.
radio. You still in there, bro? What you got? What's your best guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think a Turk is a like a Turk name is a fair thing to say.
Do they say
I
it?
think-
Oh, we see you very soon. If it was a snow.
Oh my God. Yeah, but like when would we be seeing snow anytime soon?
Who comes out a lot and shows his face a lot or something?
I mean, is there something coming up in FF14? I'm just thinking about like Final Fantasy games. Right?
Yeah,
Where they think, like,
that's
very
why
soon you're
and
gonna
that's why I
feel
went
all
with
of this
Jack.
character.
Yeah, that's why I went with Jack or whatever, because you know.
I feel like Jack or like Zach would be something to consider, just because those are the 2 upcoming games.
Honestly, I think Jack might be too soon, but.
We haven't seen Gallop yet.
But I don't. You're right.
Man, they've printed like 1 million Gallop cards and they all suck.
I mean,
So
spoilers.
please, no more Gallops.
We're gonna get another Galif and another Dorgan.
Oh, no more Gallops. I've seen so many of those cards just get printed and they all blow.
Medic, did they reveal a Dorgan already, or am I missing something? Isn't Dorgan also a Dawn Warrior? I can't stop touching these fucking reins. I'm so excited for them. Oh, okay.
Yo, do you have extra non-foils just in case?
I mean, if I'm playing my 12 foils, then yeah, you can probably get my. Actually, I actually do have an extra non-foil in general.
I'm sure you do, because I'm sure everybody does, and it's probably just been sitting there, people begging to trade it.
Yep, and now they're gonna be worth millions. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, non-foil will be easy. I'm a non-foil gamer now. Can't afford foils. They're
I
just too
know.
expensive.
I just took a risk here buying out TCG.
I mean, I'm sure they didn't cost much.
They're $20 a piece.
$20 a piece? That's the discount you got? You didn't get the friends and family discount?
From TCG players? No, not really.
Oh, TCG player. I thought it was TCG Titans.
Oh no. He didn't have any. I asked him first.
Oh wow. He didn't have any. He's just keeping them all, and then he's gonna inflate them when Glacia comes out.
Yeah, Medic. When you see it, you'll know who it was. This guy. Anyway,
That's hilarious.
I guess nobody else got any guesses, so I think we're gonna call it.
Cool, man.
Again, final shout out to everybody: Medic, Sire, Warsaw, On the Draw, Radio Check, Starwind for checking in earlier, TCG Titans, and of course JG for hanging out with me the whole day. I'll be back next Thursday for more Final Fantasy stuff. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll figure it out. So let's look forward to that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care. And
All right, see you, buddy.